feel this tide choke my neck and I just wonder why I'm buried in a suit I'd never buy, a suit I'd never buy. Cufflinks on my wrist, I can't act surprised when the shovels hit dirt in the earth. Did they start to dry? Since I was 17, I've been looking for a place to make me be complete. I've been looking all alone out there for anything to make me feel alive, bring me back to life. Cufflinks on my wrist, I can't act surprised when the shovels hit dirt in the earth. Did they start to dry? Since I was 17, I've been looking for a place to make me be complete. I've been looking all alone out there for anything to make me feel alive, bring me back to life.
She found a way into my heart. Oh, oh, she don't make out, no, she make art. And I need a way to treat it, 'cause I keep getting high off of her. Off of her. I know that you'd be bad from the minute I saw you. But somehow I keep running back to you. Back to you. Back to long nights can get me feeling lonely. Hey. And hearing music that can make me smile. But the way I feel with her cannot be explained. But one thing still remains on my mind. I know that you'd be bad from the minute I saw you. But somehow I keep running back to you. Back to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the SirPigasus Twitch stream, your official home for Luminosity Gaming. It is myself, SirPigasus, alongside Quanzek here. Quanzek, it's already time. It came so fast for the main event.
Yeah, we're here. We're ready to go after a abbreviated stream on Sunday. The end result was what we expected, and into GSL double elim stage we go for this Friday. Top 16 teams, and we'll see through the top 8 into Saturday and Sunday. And we already know where we're gonna end up, but we gotta watch them and support them all the same, Pegasus.
Absolutely. I feel like we've already set that standard with how the first open went. We got number 1. Let's go for it again. Maybe try and pull off a triple here in the first major, just in time for Birmingham, where they can go to LAN. And I think this is definitely a team able to cause some shocks there on the international stage as well. It was a pretty confident Swiss. Sweeping all 3 teams, Red Torch, Yokohama F Marinas, and even the top 6 team, Senza Esports. And I remember we were heading into that series, we were like, okay, this is clearly the biggest challenge of the day. And still, Luminosity made pretty light work of them. So now, here we are today. Best of 5s all the way through. Decent seeding. Not number 1 seed, by the way, coming out of our Swiss stage.
Yeah,
the whole score stuff, even though 9-0, which, look... Whatever, new system. I'm all for it. But either way, I'm sure we can prove ourselves in the GSL. And we do start off against Praise in this first round.
Yeah, I've seen some of the discourse floating around on the Bucol system, and I do support it because it's new, and I am somebody who will follow the numbers no matter where they lead me. Statistically, that's what the Bucol system is doing. With that being said, when a team finishes 9-0 in the Swiss stage and doesn't get the number 1 seed, it just feels bad. Regardless of what mathematics you want to put behind it, it should that, like, you feel like there should be an exception made to the rule at that point moving forward. But yeah, we'll get to see Luminosity face off against Praise to start, and our expectations are Senza on the opposite side, although Kinotrope could definitely give Senza a run for their money there in the bottom side of Pool A.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like Kinotrope was a team that could have gone a little bit further last time. Not to say that they didn't, but they're just one of those teams that are consistently very promising in APAC, and without only being the first open, giving them some time to work on themselves before the second, I feel like they are definitely the team to look out for in that upper round 2 as well. I feel like either way, we are going to have ourselves a really exciting game to try and qualify. But to get us started, it is this Praise team, which I saw was in the Swiss stage for the first open as well, made it to round 5, unfortunately fell out 2-3. However, they came in with their second chance here in this second open. They were able to qualify, and I tell you what, absolutely fair play to them. I must say, it's a kind of team composition I haven't seen before either. We got a player from the Maldives, a player from Saudi Arabia, a player from Vietnam, and then an English coach. Tell you what, I'm all for it. Very international roster.
Yeah, that's even a little more worldwide than your heralded Mr. Worldwides that you've been covering in EU. That's quite the range this group has, and perseverance. They've gotten through to top 16 here. Obviously, they were very close in the first open. This might be the beginning of the end for what you might. A Cinderella run feels too rude to me, considering how close they were to coming out of the first open. But when you draw Luminosity in the first round of the GSL stage, it is not ideal to say the least. But hey, that's you gotta show your medal, you gotta earn your stripes somehow, and doing it against the region's best, where they've already proved themselves to be that. That's what Praise is looking to do. Don't ask me for a prediction though.
Oh yeah, don't ask me for a prediction in this first round either. Oh, Quanzek, your camera's not happy as well. It is so ashamed that you wouldn't put forward a prediction there for Luminosity. And you know what? In fear of my camera falling, I think I'm going to have to throw one out now. I originally wasn't going to, but now you've scared me a little bit. I'm going to go for, of course, Luminosity here, looking for the sweep. If we were able to do it all throughout the Swiss, you know what? Let's see how far we can go for. Do you reckon that they could genuinely go through this entire GSL stage with sweeps as well? I'm not too sure. I think it's going to be a little bit difficult, but I think if there was quite literally any team in the world that was able to do it, I would say it's Luminosity or, maybe Falcons in MENA.
Well, the Twisted Minds edition does make things a bit more complicated for that Falcons take. I do think Luminosity is the right pick if you had to decide on a single roster that could go all the way completely a clean sheet, a clean record. I do think it's this one, and I think it can continue today, Pegasus. Obviously, this team has to be on top of what they're doing the entire time, as we'll go ahead and jump over. While we're waiting for our game to pull up, we do have who the winner will be playing on the opposite end of one of Kinotrope or Senza. But back to the point that we were making, Luminosity, they can do it. They just have to be on their A game the entire time, because these two rosters that we're seeing here in Kinotrope Gaming and Senza Esports, they're no slouches. So if you don't come out with your A game, you may drop one. But we're expecting a sweep to open here.
How privileged is this?
Done this. I know. Speaking from a very privileged position, but we saw the sweep over Senza as well, Pegasus.
Yeah. I mean, of course, and they played so well. There were so many highlights that I could have picked up from that third series as well. All three players just having their fair share of it. Some great passes in between them as well. You saw Sphinx even just score on 0 seconds for the sake of scoring on 0 seconds in Game 3 as well, even with only a 1 goal difference between them and Senza. They played for risk, they played for fun, they got themselves the goal, and like we said, Kinotrope and Senza, this is definitely, either way, I think it's going to be our toughest series of the Open. We're either going to get a very hot Kinotrope Gaming coming off the back of beating Senza Esports, or we get a rematch against Senza, where, of course, in the GSL stage, they are really not going to be playing around. They're going to be fighting for that qualification spot. That's what those upper semi-finals are all about. And I must say, I do think it is a significant advantage qualifying through that upper bracket and winning that upper semi-final. A few less games to play, a second chance as well in that semi-finals. Yep. It's just so huge for a team to have, and I think that it's going to be very contentious, especially in this group for that top spot. Unfortunately for those teams, however, they are going to have to face Luminosity Gaming. And even when you look at the other side, you see the likes of Dekubop Dumnem versus 360, Rounds as well against Jungle Juicers. There's potential there for, another Scandi matchup between Dekubop Dumnem and Rounds, who just, for some reason, cannot escape each other, no matter what the format is during these first two opens of this split. So overall, I feel like Group A has got a lot of action, to be honest, on this side. On the other, we, of course, see Elevate, who we expect to dominate that bracket, but I'm still seeing, 90+7 and maybe 3 Rats potentially being the qualifying game in the upper bracket semis. I think that's going to be a great one for the neutrals, and because Group B has that, 15-20 minute delay, there's, a real chance that we might be able to get a small look at that one, should any of our series ends, and there's a bit of time before the next one. So yeah, I mean, APAC, absolutely stacked. Luminosity, of course, the most stacked roster out of anyone here, and I just got a message from the producer saying it seems like we also have a bit of a 10-minute delay.
Yeah, it's intentionally split into 2 pools here. Pool A and Pool B, so that people can watch the different games, the different action happening at the same time. The bracket can get filled in a rather succinct manner, but I guess we have a delay despite being in group number A, so we'll go ahead and just hang out here with Kinotrope and Senza for probably the finish of their second game before we get going. I will say, you mentioned the potential future matchup of Dekuboptinum and Rounds. 5 Finnish players on the pitch at the same time. They're all friends with each other coming into this season. There's gotta be, at some point, animosity between you and them with the sheer number of times you've played each other and gone in each other's way.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There's of course RLCS points on the line. There's prize pool on the line, and maybe the first time it's a fun little grudge match, play against your friends that actually has some weight behind it. But when it's the second and even the third, I think it has potential to be their third matchup against each other, because I believe they've played in a Swiss stage as well at some point. I mean, eventually, the amount of time you spend around them as friends starts to get overshadowed by the amount of times you see them in terms of business here in this first open. So I feel like that's going to be quite harsh for those 5 players that have constantly had to face each other, because I'm sure they were very cool up to this point, but it'll be interesting to see, if that's able to hold on. I think it only takes one of those characters to really switch and turn it for the rest of the team, which in part changes it for the other team as well. So I feel like it is, a house of cards which has potential to fall, but you never know the personality of those 5 players. I know personally, we were on the Dekubop Dumnem stream in Open 1, and of course I'm very familiar with those players anyway, even before that stream. They are a group of lovely people, like we said, probably the villains being a group of imports.
But some of the nicest
I'm not
people.
living in APAC at the moment, but also, like you said, some of the nicest people that you will meet as well. So I'm sure if anyone can, get away with it, it would be them, essentially. But I do see there was a first goal there for the man, the myth, the legend himself, Realize, in the Kinotrope game. And, well, I said there would be no slouch, and it's looking to be exactly that in that series. And I feel like that does actually have potential to go all the way to 5. And I think a first game overtime goal required just like that really goes on to prove it. And either way, I don't think it's an upset. I do think these are just 2 extremely solid rosters over here in Asia Pacific.
Yeah, I think Kinotrope was overall probably unhappy with their showing in the first open. They finished, I believe, top 6, but despite that being the last real herald of APAC with the fully Japanese roster that they have, and trying to make a stand against some of these import players, I think they know they could have played better. And I saw through whatever broken bits I could have gathered over X, realize just saying like, yeah, not ideal. Things could have been different. So more power to them. And they're a caliber roster, a quality team, and Senza, biggest entrance and exit in the scene that maybe has ever happened, but they've shown that they're a powerhouse in this region as well. So maybe let's not get ahead of ourselves either. We are already discounting that we're going to beat Praised, which we should slow our roll a little bit here. But it does. I think it's only positive indications that both of us are looking forward to. It should be a very fun and entertaining series in the second matchup of today, and that would mean we're into Saturday as well with the victory there. It operates weirdly enough like a mini Swiss stage. You win 2, you're through. You lose 2, you're out.
Yeah, absolutely, and I feel like that upper bracket finals is going to feel, dare I say, a lot more meaningful than it did in the first Open, where we had, I believe on one side it was the, formerly Zero Sec, now 90 plus 17 versus Dekubop Dumnem, and then in the other upper bracket final competing for seeding was LG versus Elevate, so it just felt like that. Whoever was in the group with Dekubop Dumnem and 90 plus 7 was, in a bit of a stick of bother, I will say, regardless of the result of that game. And they were both very good series to watch, actually. Of course, LG, unfortunately, falling in Game 7 versus Elevate, but we really made up for it with a grand finals performance for the ages, of course, to take that first Open. But over here, it feels like, you just kind of expect that Elevate are going to be in that upper bracket final. It's the same kind of expectations you're going to see for Luminosity as well. And I think it's very, very clear at the moment that there are just the 2 best teams. It is Luminosity, it is Elevate. Yes, other teams maybe would be able to tip them off, but if it happened, everyone would be calling it an upset. So I feel like winning that upper bracket final is going to be crucial to make sure that the only time the top 2 teams play is perhaps in that grand finals.
Yeah, it was a funny little flip-flop that we had there in the first Open, where almost all the weight was earlier in that final bracket rather than the grand finals where those 2 teams should meet. I think you're right about that. The big 2 that have evolved from the first Open, it should be Luminosity, it should be Elevate. Always a great series between those 2 teams. And then I think there's a tier break, and you throw in people who, can beat them on a good day, but sorry, we're having some.
We can see on a different screen the messages our producer sent to the players here on LG. I saw someone in chat asking when LG's game. It's a fantastic question. We've got all the players in the lobby for Luminosity. We're waiting for our opponents, which are, of course, if they do not show up on time, it will go down as a forfeit. And our producer asked, hey, do you guys know what the delay is for? One of the players replied, they have to pray. It's prayer time for them.
Which, look, all respect to the individuals who are way more disciplined and thorough in their religious following than I have ever been in my life. So we're happy to give them the 20 minutes extra.
Literal prayer time. Oh, I thought Sphinx was just saying you don't want to mess with us.
No, I think it is, because this happened.
Makes more sense. Okay,
this happened in the first Open when I was with Deku Boptinum, because we played rounds. We've seen that matchup a couple of times, and rounds has M6.
All right, makes sense.
And so Yeah, but that's... I don't know enough, unfortunately, to give an
Love to
educated
see that then.
update there. But yeah, that's what we're waiting on. It's you know, a worthy of exception to the check-in time here. But back to what I was saying, we should expect Luminosity and Elevate 1 and 2. I don't know what the discourse is from Ped on if he's come full circle and given Elevate their flowers. They deserve them at this point, but below those two, there's a tier break. Teams that could play for a championship in a certain on any given open if they're playing very well. I think I put Senza in there. I think I put Deku Boptinum in there. Probably 90 plus 7 and 3 rats.
Yeah.
And I think it ends. There's a couple teams that are close, but I think I put them in the third tier down here. So definitely way more depth in APAC than we're used to seeing, but a lot of that, and you take it with a grain of salt, it is due to players coming in and playing from not locally in the region, whether they're from it or living there. So
yeah, it's really impressive that some of these teams can come here, play on a consistent, 3-digit ping, and still be able to compete as well. Like we previously mentioned, Decabop done them as being a really high tier team. I know that they're a team that aren't in APAC at the moment. They are all Finnish players playing from Finland, competing extremely well. And I do just want to point out as well that the RLCS admins, even though there's been so much imports, and they would accommodate it, of course, like typically in MENA as well. I have seen like people make tickets being talking about prayer times previously in the last open, and it's great to see that overall that they are extremely accommodating as well. They do allow these delays, just with caveat of once you're done, get yourselves in the game very quickly. And overall, I just feel like that's a really nice thing to have there in the community. I don't know, it makes me happy. It feels like the bare minimum, it really does. But I've seen some communities out there that aren't as accommodating as some places here.
Unfortunately,
I think we can put it that simply and keep it up that.
The bar is so low in so many areas right now. I went on a date recently.
Okay, Quanzek, go on.
First date, I don't think there will be a second. With that being said, I enjoyed my time. She was lovely. There just wasn't like a romantic connection there. She went out of her way to comment on, I was such a gentleman for opening doors for her, pulling out her chair, and I was like, what is the threshold right now? Because if I'm doing this, something that should be second nature, what I was raised to, thank you, Mama, putting these good manners into my head, what is going on where that's not the case? And that's just, my own little anecdotal evidence. So I'm happy that we're taking the time, and as you mentioned, we haven't seen it in other places, so giving the respect where it is due. But as this second game comes to a close, we have a second overtime in a row here with Kinotrope against Senza. Once this comes to a close, we should expect some update. Maybe not the second it ends, but relatively soon, regarding our series and when it will get underway. Who would you want to play between these two? Kinotrope or Senza? Who do you want to see in the second round? I don't know if there's a right answer.
I don't think there's a right answer in terms of, who would I prefer, who would be the quote-unquote easier matchup, because I don't think between these two, especially with how they're playing at the moment, I mean, this first series is really telling you everything. I don't think there is an easier opponent here. I would probably edge to wanting to see Kinotrope, frankly, because we played Senza in the Swiss, and I feel like it would just be a nice bit of variety as well. Of course, Realize being one of the goats of Asia Pacific as well. I feel like
Yeah.
he'd be a really nice player to see on the pitch as well.
Hold on.
Kinotrope were.
Pegasus, I know I've just interrupted you. Look at the bottom left of our preview right now.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't know if any of you saw on either of our Twitter, but when we entered this vMix call, which is just like the production software we use to see all the screens, it's how our producer handles all the audio as well, and he can give us audio and give us video. He played 16 screens of Crazy Frog on max volumes to blast our eardrums, and now he keeps randomly popping Crazy Frog up on our screen whilst we're trying to remain nice and professional here on the Luminosity stream. Speaking of, I think Crazy Frog has taken my co-cast. Oh, never mind, he's back.
No, that's my camera was lagging. I just had to sort everything out. In all honesty, it doesn't look that bad. He's designed a scarab to mimic.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Crazy Frog with the
hold on.
glasses and it's a whole. It's not just the picture. He's designed a scarab in the likeness of Crazy Frog.
Wow. Hold on, put it back on screen. Put it back on screen. No, we got to see that again, Hazard. We got to see that again. Come on, you got to give it more time than that. That is actually kind of beautiful. You know that tweets that got posted the other day that was like, I wish casters were a bit more analytical. Let's analyze this, Quanzek.
Yeah, that's
all right. They asked to be more analytical. Let's get analytical. I like how they're getting the blue. I think they've nailed the blue perfectly here. Even the little white accent as well kind of matches, that weird shade he's got on his lips and his stomach as well. I feel like it's the right general shape. Of course, the goggles, there's the glasses there as well. I think weirdly enough, the lights on the scarab as well are doing a pretty good job of, showing Crazy Frog. There's just so much here that's working for me. I don't know about you.
Why does Crazy Frog's skin look like he has like frostbite everywhere across? Like he's been like in a cooler for the last like 20 hours. Welcome to the Luminosity team stream, by the way.
Yeah,
this is what we're doing right now. Kinotrope winning here in a second
fighting for their lives, and we're looking at Crazy Frog.
Yeah, let's go check Pegasus and I's Twitters. All I know is that while we've been going through this preview, waiting for our first series to start, I have had Crazy Frog going on in my background because we heard it for like 20 minutes before we started the stream. We take prep very seriously. Over here. You do some of the chat is sharing your sentiments on they want to see Kinotrope over the top of Senza. Which I think is more entertaining for the storyline, and I think just my own personal biases here, my favorite roster between the two to see advance would be Kinotrope over the top of Senza. So the longer they get through the uppers, the happier I will be. This is, on my bingo card, I don't think I had talking about Crazy Frog at 1:24 in the morning, but here we are. This is what my Friday morning has devolved into. This is the topic we are covering. Oh man.
For context, ladies and gentlemen, Quanzek is from California, I do believe. It is UTC -8 for him. So 1:30 in the morning. Not slept here on the Luminosity team stream, and he has just been blared Crazy Frog to make sure he can keep going by our
it did wake me up, admittedly. It did wake me up, and there's some sponsorship packages I've gotten from some previous tourneys I've casted that have kept me going right now. Speaking of Arch, I see you in the chat. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for saying what's up. Has anybody? I'm not saying this to like glaze myself right now and brag. Listen though. Listen. I went back and rewatched some of the streams. Tenacity did a watch party of the one-shot tournament that I recently did. Deleted Gaming did their own as well. and I went back just to get a few little bits of criticism from the chat on my casting, see what people liked, see what people didn't, because I'm always in lab, I'm trying to get better, right?
Yeah.
Deleted Gaming's watch party. It's... If I worked at Deleted Gaming, I could have, you know, thrown in some sort of, like, sexual harassment, something in there.
Goodness.
There was so many
This is not where I
comments.
thought this was going.
There was so many comments about what I, like, you know, I could model. Why am I casting Rocket League instead of modeling? I was wearing, like, a very,
Someone in
like...
chat said that. Hold on, someone in chat just said that.
See?
Trim RL, Quanzek,
Exactly.
you need to pursue a modeling career. And he's right. And he's absolutely correct. Have you seen him with a beard as well? He can rock both. He can rock clean shaven. He can rock with a beard. How am I meant to compete when they turn on the camera and it's us two? I'm getting mugged. I'm getting mugged, ladies and gentlemen.
Relax.
Constantly on this stream.
I appreciate the kind words
Oh my
from
goodness.
everybody. Thank you very much. If I had contacts in modeling, you know, who knows? I am close enough to LA, I could drive down, but that doesn't really sound entertaining in the slightest. I like to talk about cars driving around and hitting a digital soccer ball. That is much more stimulating for me than standing in front of a camera. Plus, I don't think I'm photogenic, like, at all. Like, I feel like I'd sit there and just be incredibly awkward and be like, I don't know what to do. Let me just awkwardly put my hands in my pockets and look like I'm just a chill guy for real, man. Like, I could never seriously model. It would not go well.
Whenever I'm on someone's watch parties and I go into their chat, they go, "Wow, you can tell it's a team stream." Is one of them. I always get told I'm too biased for the team I'm doing a team stream for, which is always hilarious. And I'm also compared to a very specific religious figure and Fairy Peak. So to be fair, not some bad names there to be compared to. Of course, Fairy Peak used to have the long hair. It was absolutely beautiful. He chopped it off. He was still absolutely beautiful, but I tell you what, I definitely think I prefer my hair long. I don't think I can still rock both like he can. I don't think I can rock every single look like you can. And hold on, can we get a fit check? Can you like maybe stand up, sit back? Let's see the jacket as well there, Quanzek. I think that is absolutely gorgeous on you.
Horrible idea. Let me put this out here. So, okay. Hear me out, okay? I'm on camera. You guys only
full
see,
screen.
You guys only see like the bottom of my rib cage and up. I have a T-shirt on from high school.
Oh,
my
right.
advanced placement program. I've thrown on a leather jacket to look more, you know, poised. If I stand up though, I'm in
It's
like
dangerous.
it's
not.
I'm in some comfy sweats.
Ooh.
They got a couple designs on them.
Hello.
They're by far the coziest thing that I own. It's very
Guys,
much
clip that
your
moment
like
for me, please.
it's very much
Send it
your
to me.
Zoom interview, you know, job outfit where you're there and like all dressed to the nines in your button down, hair's done, and underneath it's, you know, PJs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah,
it
I gotta be
is
comfy,
the
man.
caster fit, right? Where when you're on camera, you're only really seeing, you know, just above your stomach line-ish. You know, all you have to do is
Yeah,
wear
man,
a
look,
blazer,
I
wear a
get to
decent,
pick
wear
where
a
the
decent
camera
shirt,
goes.
and then whatever low, depending on how risky you want to play it as well. You can be as risky as you like. But I mean, people that wanted us to play Kenotrope in the upper semi-final should we, of course, win the upper quarters as well. That's still something that we have to do here. We're gonna get the favored matchup. I feel like it was almost unanimous that Kenotrope Gaming was preferred. It was my preferred, your preferred, chat's preferred. It seemed like, and well, 3-1 with 49 seconds left, and Sensor Esports not really keeping up that fight in the third game nearly as much as they were in the first and second. It's really felt like they've lost steam as time has gone on. Eventually, of course, when you get put in that reverse sweep situation, it is, you know, a really tough place to find yourself in. You know, it just allows Kenotrope. Hold on. Parapels.
Yeah, there's
no way, right?
there's-
I haven't just done that, right? Hold on. No.
Caster cursing something that we're not even covering might be a unique skill if this does come to pass.
Don't tell the Kenotrope stream. Guys,
Yeah,
please,
there's nobody mentioned
please.
anything.
Please.
It is admittedly for Senza, both their losses came in OT, which are just like demoralizing losses to get through mentally, able to process, and when you've played they're exhausting losses, right? Because you put everything into the game, you put everything into OT, and all it takes is one goal to not go your way, and that's it. So game 3, maybe they're just, I gotta sneeze here in a second, so I'm gonna quickly throw it over to you. You guys will hold on. I say this, it may be
it looks beautiful once he
disappearing.
does it.
Don't put that on me.
nervous.
I'm about to make the ugliest face. No, I think it's gone. I brought it up. I spoke it into existence. The sneeze was like, ha, joke's on you. I'm just gonna go ahead and disappear. Maybe I gotta go grab some pepper or something, man. This is gonna annoy me. Kindertrope, it does beat Senza in a sweep, and so they've done well to do there, but they've earned themselves a exponentially long break, admittedly, because we haven't even gotten started yet over here. So this is we'll get there, and I think, look, man, you guys got to see my red sweatpants that are the comfiest thing that I own, that I'm rocking for, like, I don't know, probably 60-70% of all of my cash. So any other future call you see me on, no matter what the top is, it's probably not going to be the leather jacket, but I got a couple other, hoodies or jackets or, like, coats that I will put on to look more professional. Just imagine myself with, like, bright red sweatpants on, because that is typically how it goes.
I do see that the players have entered a lobby here. I'm wondering if there will be opponents that join thereafter. And I'll be honest here, Quanzek, I was too busy appreciating your looks. I completely forgot that we were supposed to be casting Rocket League today. Hold on a minute. Let's wheel this back in. It's APAC main event, ladies and gentlemen, and we've got the best team in APAC here, and we're talking modeling. We're talking Crazy Frog. For some reason, that's just been the theme of the day.
Oh man!
There was an amazing game on screen as well between Kinatrope and Senza, and I believe that Senza team will have to play the loser of Praise versus Luminosity. So yeah, they definitely have some waiting time for them. Same as the Kinatrope team as well. But I think they'll enjoy that break. I think we're going to end up finishing then at a very similar time to the second group as well, which means actually if we do run through these games rather quickly, which I'm not going to bank on, there is potential that we'll be able to watch the end of some important series in Group B as well. I do think there are some really exciting ones coming. I think if we get a 90+7 versus 3 Rats in the upper bracket semi-finals of Group B, I think that's definitely going to be series of that group, surely. That's going to be amazing. To qualify through uppers as well, mwah, chef's kiss. It doesn't get much better than that for Group B. For Group A, however, it's all about Luminosity gaming. It's all about
here, right, baby?
And who's here in the upper bracket final. We are here for a reason. To watch the best of the best.
And I have never, I've done a lot of team streams in my day, right? Pegasus, and I've covered a wide range of teams. I'm looking to get a Sam and a Mina broadcast under my belt, because once that happens, I will have done every single region. And not that really is an accomplishment. It just feels cool to say. With that being said, I have never sat here commenting over a game and been like, we might as well just say this one's over. Like, this is where we're headed to. This is like, you guys, we're going to see Luminosity score. We're going to see them score again and score again. Oh, maybe the opposition will get 1 goal in the back of our nets. But at the end of the day, it's going to be Luminosity rather handedly winning these games. And I have not once ever had that experience. Luminosity looked good. They looked poised. They looked like they could beat you by, throwing a dart at some map on the wall. And that map says how they score, right? Tic-tac-toe passing play. individual mechanical play, redirect pass from Catalysm over to Sosa to get it in. And I do believe we should be underway here officially in the game. We might get a test lobby. But
there we go.
there is progress happening, ladies and gentlemen. We have a test lobby going on. We will get ready to go to our first series of the day. And before I throw it back over to you, Pigasus, I gotta give a massive shout out to all my North American brethren that are coming out in droves in our chat right now. I appreciate you guys trooping it out with me at, 2 or later in the morning. If you are, Mountain or Central, and it's, even more in the dead of the night, who's up at 4 a.m.? You guys are. That's what we're doing right now. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for supporting us. And Luminosity, we already know they're going to put on a show. Pegasus and I are just here to really hang on to the coattails of what these players have to offer, because no matter what we say about it, it's going to be beauty with the type of plays that they'll be putting together. That's for sure.
We sit here just in awe at every single play and tell a story that we see before our eyes and simply cannot believe. That is what it's like being on the Luminosity team stream, because these 3 plays individually are fantastic. Put them together, it's like they're even stronger. There's just so many plays that they constantly go for as well, which you can tell are clearly deliberate. So the air dribble bump plays, which feels like every 3rd, 4th play they were going for during the Swiss stage. They've got some kickoff strategies as well, which we found really interesting, where the second man actually takes the ball and tries to pass it across to first. There's everything being thrown out there. This is, like I said, the best team in Asia Pacific. And I tell you what, Quanzek, I'm really happy that we're going to get this first series. I was really worried for a sec there that it was going to go down for a forfeit, and it's also just not the reason you'd want there to be a forfeit either. No. So I'm really glad we could get this underway, show off some LG, and also show off this praise roster as well, because all respect to them, they've worked hard to get here.
I wanted to throw in my 2 cents, and you beat me to it. That's exactly what I was going to say. We want to see Luminosity play, especially, we don't want to see a DQ this deep into open number 2. Like, we're 4 days deep. Having a DQ now would be devastating. But as you mentioned, praise, very close to making it through the Swiss stage the first time. They're here now. I don't believe they have a team stream, so as much coverage as we can get on them, on the region, on the talent that they have, I think it's only going to be good for everybody involved. It's what Rocket League needs more in general right now. It's just coverage of good players, good people, having a good time. That's what we're here to do, baby. That's what we're here to accomplish. That's why I'm up at 2 a.m. chatting about Limo random stuff, all in the name of enjoyment. I believe we will be good to go here briefly. I will throw it over to you, Pegasus. You can officially take us underway. We see the players playing a bit of lightning tag, making sure that everybody's in here and good to go. Rocket League tradition as old as time. Oh, I can't wait, Pegasus. It's been a long time coming.
Oh, and they're making us wait even longer with this little light show they've got us watching at the moment. We saw the beautiful Quanzek on the caster screen. We move over to, just all 6 players having a bit of fun. I would question them and say we've been delayed for quite some time now. Let's just get underway. Hold on a minute, we've got a countdown. And finally, Quanzek, we have kickoff. Praise versus Luminosity. Here we go.
I cannot wait. We're looking for a good start from Luminosity. It's what we came to expect. But they have to deal with things initially. Look at this breakout pass, and already, almost capitalizing there. 1, 2, 3. It will hit the back of the net by Sosa. It wasn't the initial gorgeous passing play, but the rebound in all of 21 seconds is what it took, Pegasus, before Luminosity showed us that They haven't changed. They haven't missed a beat. They're here, and they're ready to play.
You really thought that break was going to stop them. This is Luminosity. Another infield pass being found. Sosa can't get on the end of it. Sphinx then went off the play, but Catalysm will pick this one up. Great stop there. Stopping the ball from breaking the half. Sosa looking for that backboard. Won't get the second touch, so Sphinx looks to be the second to collect, but is dropping back here to Catalysm. Looks to break his way forward, and already we can see the forward pressure that Luminosity are able to hold on to. We've already rarely seen that ball in the orange half. It is the first minute, of course, but Luminosity don't feel like this is going to be a team that's going to be letting go of the brakes anytime soon. High boost counts as well overall, and doesn't seem to be dwindling all that hard, which typically, when you're applying all this pressure, you have to be very competitive to all the boost grabs. Otherwise, you are just going to fall behind, and at the moment, we are not seeing that. Praise looking to create their first opportunity here, but Catalysm, I'm sure, just sends this long.
That's a good demo there, and hopefully, if there's somebody in the chat who is more educated than myself, I know, bad caster, a pronunciation for the third member on Praise.
Ooh, yes.
That is a language that I cannot read, let alone attempt to pronounce. That would be lovely before I decide on something. But it will be Praise initially looking at a couple different angles here. They finally broken out of their half rather, and are trying Luminosity. They're doing much better than the tournaments we saw in the Swiss stage of making sure that these goals don't fall in a hurry. As we see right there, forcing a good save off of their post is Luminosity. This one dangerous though, and Praise will tie things up.
And if this is the player that's listed on the Liquipedia, it will be Glass here for Praise.
Yeah.
Getting that
Perfect.
first shot across. Sosa looking a bit awkward off that back wall. Doesn't land the best, and the first one does slip away, but it definitely felt like one of those one-off mistakes. Can happen every now and again, but still Praise did really well to pile on that pressure and to have the mistake be accounted for. But my goodness, a play like this, just what we've come to expect now. Sphinx going up off that right wall. You already can see Sosa on the other side pre-jumping that one. And it is just beautiful. They seem so in tune with each other as well. And, well, quickly after that equalizer, Luminosity do what they do best.
Yeah, the pass coming off of Sphinx's car. Sosa's higher in the air than Sphinx is when that pass makes its way over, which is insane to me. There's no way the trajectory of the... There's none of that. It's Sphinx all the way up, and Catalysm gonna get involved themselves here as well. It's been a little bit of a slower start, but Catalysm from their own backboard has an open net to shoot at. One touch beats all three members of Praise, and Luminosity looking great so far here, Pegasus.
Absolutely, we crossed that halfway point now. It was 2 goals quicker for Trop there from Luminosity. Catalysm was able to make something happen from his own back wall. He'll be able to make something happen from his own corner as well. A 3-goal difference very quickly established, and just as I'm talking to on a Trot, we make it 3.
Catalysm, Luminosity, we need a set play. Catalysm in the back left corner. He needs to hit the trifecta here. One from above the net, one from the back right corner, one from the left. He instead will be forced to take this kickoff. So no fun for us here yet, but I'm sure that trio will come at some point today. Catalysm pancake touch has the flip. That would have been something miraculous had they been able to pull it off. I wouldn't have been shocked, but it's just such a low percentage, high mechanical play. It won't be the pancake. It will be Sosa already with his hat trick for today.
That's not an easy shot. That is deceivingly difficult. He's not the fastest player on the ball there. It's just a bit high that he has to wrap himself around it as well to still find that top left corner with such pace behind it as well. Just goes to show his experience. Of course, he's been in the scene for quite some time now, I feel like it is fair to say, and well, consistently consistent is what I called him on Twitter. That 6th goal, I think, really helped secure it.
It's, you know, I was giving some praise. Hey. But how long have I been cooking that one?
Wow. Oh,
I was giving
No
praise.
idea.
I was
Too
giving
long.
praise their honors when we first started this game because Luminosity got that first goal 21 seconds in and they didn't score again for about another minute. And they did well. And I will give credit where credit's due, but the floodgates have officially opened, and this is something we see far too often in these games where Luminosity can just exert their will over their opposition. It is 6-1, and we may be traveling to steal your call from a previous team stream, Pegasus, from APAC over to the SAM region here shortly.
Oh, there's very good potential of that, of course. You said that you see it far too often. I say never enough. With these one-ended scorelines, we're here to watch the champions play. And, well, this is a champion scoreline waiting to happen. Big boom forward here by Catalysm. However, Nadine able to catch this one high. Sosa looking to play this one back in field, but it's well defended here by Praise. They're looking to just try and get something else out of this game. And I must say, they fought valiantly in this first game. I feel like the defense has just left themselves a little bit exposed at times, and I think one thing that Luminosity are so good at doing is just holding on to pressure once they have it. It doesn't get conceded very quickly. It's not very often you see it die down in 10, 15 seconds, whereas Praise, you know, they've had their fair share of attacks. They've been dangerous. I think all the action just has to be cleaned up on their own third, and other than that, I must say, this is a team I'm surprised didn't qualify in Open number 1, regardless of this 0-second trip to Brazil.
Yep, I mean, it was alluded to, we will finally punch the tickets and hop on our flight there. Luminosity 7-1 in game number 1. That's what you like to see. That's what we're expecting out of this roster, and I'm in awe, and I mentioned this a lot in Swiss Stage. Watching this team just makes me feel like I'm all wrapped up in bed. I've been right a bedtime story. I have a really good meal in me, and I'm tucked in as snug as a bug in a rug. It's cozy, man. There is no fear. There is no concern over what's coming our way, what is going to be happening. It is just me sitting here and existing and enjoying Rocket League without any nerves, any anxiousness. It's genuinely next team stream. I'm gonna get what did you tell me to pick up, Pegasus? That's like your blanket that you wear as like a coat.
Oh, an hoodie. Yeah, absolutely. Get yourself nice and cozy for the next one. And I tell you what, with the times that APAC are running for you back in California, I think it's a bit dangerous actually for you to purchase it. I don't think you're gonna last the full stream, my friend.
I think you're right about that one. I'll be knocked out here in my little snuggie with the blanket on. I'll see some fabulous goal. You'll hear me shouting, and the second later it'll be nothing but snoring, just because I've been made at peace by Luminosity. They can somehow find a way to ease all of my concerns in life.
They can absolutely stomp a team down in a game, but there's just a beauty behind it as well. It isn't gory, it isn't brutal. There's a bit of ballet behind it as well with some of the pre-jumps we've seen so far this game. It's like some kind of synchronized swimming, but with supersonic, acrobatic, rocket-powered battle cars. And again, it is Sosa with a shot that just is not easy. But he's so consistent at catching himself around again. You could basically call this one a redirect. 85 kph behind it, and Praise just cannot keep up. It doesn't matter the position they find themselves. As long as they're the closest to the ball, they'll turn themselves around fast. What a way to open up the scoring yet again. The champions take the lead. Another infielder here to Sphinx. Finds Catalysm. A lovely 1-2 piece between them, and well, they introduced team free play. They haven't needed it because they'll do it regardless in the GSL stage.
It's just run of the mill. Whenever they want to pull out a play, there's always something to be had. Whether it's a redirect, whether it's a passing play like we just saw there, whether it's an individual mechanical play, there is always going to be a way to score for Luminosity the second this ball has an orange trail. And even then, sometimes when it has a blue one, that's how good they are. The other team could be touching and they could get a goal. So it's a ridiculous in and out save, but no further than glasses. They will cut the lead in half, but this is identical, I think, to how the last game played out. So expect 5 unanswered here from Luminosity and a goal differential of 14-2 at the end of game number 2.
Well, a very big expectation set here from Luminosity. A cheeky little dribble play there, attempting Medina. It doesn't quite land. Sosa, though, flip reset. He was able to score a nice one in the Swiss stage, but Sphinx is unable to finish that play off. Waiting here in the midfield. This one looking to break through. It's not on target. And Sosa comes flying in to make the save as well to prevent equality. And, well, Luminosity, they have already conceded with Sheets. Certainly not clean, and all I have to say is it's simply not good enough. You're setting a bar here, Luminosity. You can't be conceding. But we'll see if they can, again, like you said before, get themselves to that 6-goal difference. It will be another save here coming on the back wall. Praise, like I said, doing really well to hold on. I feel like this is a team that would be able to beat certainly a lot of the other teams that are competing in this main event so far. It's just having Luminosity in your first run.
Yeah.
Such a tough team to take on, as is evident from the first open, as is evident from the completely swept Swiss stage, including Senza, and as is evident, of course, just in this series alone. Catalysm looking to try and find another play in center. It doesn't quite land, but it still just feels like it's going to come eventually.
And, like, when I'm watching Luminosity, it seems like somehow they always have boost. Never at any point is it like, oh yeah, the offensive pressure is going to stop because they're out of boost. They always have boost. Whoever their third man is has a full take every time. And oh my gosh, I thought Sphinx had it. That would have been something for the highlight reel of all highlight reels. A filthy pancake goal off the backboard. Couldn't connect, but that just shows you the confidence this team's playing with. There is leisure with the way they're going about their plays right now. They can do whatever they wanted. And look at this. Look, the ball comes back out. Sosa has full boost. Catalysm also has full boost. And yeah, they're stuck in their own half, but not for long. Sphinx to the sidewall, picking up full boost over the top of one. Has his flip, can't catch up. Catalysm will come rocketing in as well. And Sosa hits a little dipsy doodle flip on his way through. We aren't the other scores to happen, but Luminosity still look firmly in control here.
This feels like defending with offense at this point. Yes, Praise have done so well to hold on, but there's been no signs of a counter-attack. And while you were speaking about the general boost counts of Luminosity as well, I always like to say that there are 2 aspects to boost conservation. There's the more offensive and defensive side of it, and for me, the offense is getting aggressive, picking up those corner boosts, robbing your opponents to keep themselves on low counts. And then there's the more defensive aspect of it. Just saving whatever you have, not using too much, being careful with how you use your flips instead, making those correct decisions. And Luminosity just simply masters in both ways. They're able to steal all the boost from the other team and then keep it once they have it. They're not wasting it on, you know, these nonsense players. They're able to save, and it's why they're able to go for so many of these mechanical plays as well. We've seen 2 attempts at a pancake in this series, which I tell you what is 2 more than I ever really see in a, well, full cast, let alone one series. Sosa there making the save as well when he's low on boost. Even when they're whittled down here, Quanzek, it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. What's the point of keeping the boost count so high if you're so good on 0 as well? An unbelievable team in this game, having only a 1-goal difference. And I'd like to say, oh, how disappointed I am that this hasn't been like game 1, but it's felt equally as confident. It's just that Praise, but just a bit tighter on the defense this time.
So here's my takeaway from this game that we haven't seen from this roster before on stream. Sunday, Swiss stage, it was win after win after win of at least 3 goals. Typically, it was a 4-1 scoreline we saw over and over and over again from Luminosity. And I said then that this roster can beat you any which way they want. They can score from anywhere on the pitch. They can connect with each other. They can go for mechanical plays. They can, whatever. They're showing that they can even lock down defensively. That all they need is 2. And if you get 1, you're not going to get the second. There was shots rifled on that none of them found the mark. And Luminosity, time and time again, was massive clears from their own back wall. And even in the rare instances where they didn't have boost, you said it yourself, they can do so much with so little in the tank. I don't know a weakness to this roster. It just feels like they're fluid, they're gelling, they're meshing together, and they're only going to get better. This is going to be the team that will make a stamp for the minor regions for the first time ever at an international LAN. I'm the first one to call it. They're going to put it on your calendars for Birmingham. It's going to happen.
I would have to agree there, Quanzek, and we spoke about it a little bit on the last stream as well. If we look at these 3 players that are on Luminosity, there is one that just stands out to me by quite some way, and he's just got himself a goal. It's Sphinx. It's the 16-year-old who only had his birthday, January 14th, so, happy birthday to him back then, but I think he's going to be the greatest of all time in Asia Pacific, certainly. I feel like he is going to get himself in higher contentions globally as well. I feel like he's going to be a player which is going to be consistently underrated for the region he plays in. But 2 goals in 10 seconds, just as I'm calling him out. I mean, it just goes to show you. I mean, this player is going to be disgusting. He's already gotten himself a region MVP when he was the age of essentially 14, 15 during that entire season. And he will be the very best.
You mentioned him being underrated in his region, and Sphinx says, you know what, let me just score 2 goals right off the jump here before we even hit 15 seconds burned away on the clock. And you can take back those words, Pegasus. I don't... Underrated?
People here know. People here know. But the people that don't watch APAC, I feel like they're not going to be giving the love that Sphinx deserves. It's similar to, I feel like there are some Oceania players as well that are very promising. I've spoken about Banana Head a few times before, who I genuinely think is one of the best players in the world and isn't given the love he deserves because he's in Oceania. I really worry Sphinx is going to have that same fate, but I feel like once they start making waves at these international levels, like me and you are predicting they will do, should they qualify to the major, I really hope people start to take notice of that superstar. Sosa off the ceiling. Hold on a minute. Double tap to follow. Catalyson's behind. And, well, it was almost an amazing goal. Almost amazing assist. And, unfortunately, he's just going to have to settle for that being a near.
Do you think it's an issue for Luminosity where, these gorgeous goals happen on such a frequent basis that, if this is any other series, you and I are screaming our heads off right now with how hype it is? And we're placated, we're jaded by how consistently Luminosity can convert, where it's like, oh yeah, hold on a second, it's a double tap, it's a good one, we've seen 2 pancake attempts in a single game. We would be pogging in any other series. It is just not happening here because Luminosity do it so often and with such ease. It's a marvel to look at, but it becomes commonplace.
Absolutely, and I feel like a few highlights are going to be posted as well of the general Luminosity gaming performance. I mean, that's typically what you expect from the champions. They get shared a bunch on social, so they're going to be like, why are these casters not going crazy? This is one of the best goals I've ever seen. But what they don't understand is it's not like they're doing this week in, week out. They're doing this minute after minute. Like a shot like that, a lovely pass there coming from Sosa to convert defense to offense. They do it every 3rd, 4th play. They're just so interconnected. They're like a fungus. They're all of one mind here. There's something telepathic between them. And they are just so damn consistent.
It's a matter of self-preservation for us here in the booth because Luminosity, it's so frequently, case in point, when I take over your call, no more than 4 seconds later, there's another spectacular goal that's scored. If we were casting at, 110% for these hype moments like we usually do, our voice would be shot by the end of game 2. Pegasus. We have to be here for the entire call. Luminosity, they're just like that. They are them. It's efficiency. It is capitalization. It is highlight reel after highlight reel. We are in an Office Depot store because there is nothing but rows upon rows of neon colored markers out here.
And it's so hard to pick the highlights as well. When it always comes to these streams, I'm always, left scratching my head afterwards, being like, what do the people want to see? And I feel like the best thing I always do is just to tell them, honestly, just go on the stream and just watch. Sit here. Any of you guys here in chat watching right now, I'm sure you've been entertained through and through just by the plays on the pitch. Honestly, you could mute this stream and have a great time if you want to. Yes. Luminosity just brings such a beauty, and we're coming here as well, Quanzek, after casting Wild, who also make EU look like it's a freestyler playground quite a lot of the time, especially when you've got tempo on the ball. But with Luminosity, still, I think there's just that extra bit of consistency these three players have, and also just, I'm so excited for what Sphinx is going to be able to do. Sosa into Catalysm. I mean, I said it before, he's been doing it for years now. Like I said, whenever you wanted to ask me, name a German player in the scene, I was always going to say Catalysm. He was that first name that came to my mind. And the fact that he has gone on that long, he's quite literally outlived my casting career. He's outlived me, even really being too involved in RLCS. He was just one of the early names that it was always been there. And simply just has never left. There was the first real attack there coming from Praise. I believe it was Glass on the ball. And, they have had these little signs of promise. I really do not think Praise are a completely slouched team. I feel like quite, a lot in the range of, 12 to 16 might be able to take them on. But when you've got the future GOAT alongside two established talents, you might just fall 6-0.
Yep, I mean, Praise, we've seen the glimpses. They look like a quality roster. It's just that Luminosity. It's a complete tier of their own. And I'm gonna harp on your point here. It's like you said, you could genuinely mute the stream and just witness art, witness the motions coming in place here. And the reason I'm reiterating you muting is so that I can then say, don't do that, though, because you'll lose it, according to Hazza. He will cut our feed if you're not actively here and listening to our wonderful voices to the game audio. I think we do a good job ourselves here, Pegasus. We give a quality product in the booth, but Luminosity's gameplay, more often than not, it does speak for itself with what they're able to accomplish and in the manner they do so. So Luminosity, it's a route for their first series. This is what we come to expect. The perfect open run continues. We are 12-0 across 2 separate days currently, and we will move on to face Kinotrope in after what was a very swift sweep by Luminosity.
Yeah, swift sweep in terms of games, but, dragged out by a bunch of goals after goals after goals and replays that you just simply could not skip. Kinotrope definitely have a big task at their hand. If any fans were not watching the stream, they might see that 2-1 second game as a potential sign of relief, but anyone here who watched that second game knew it was so one-sided. New Luminosity were having a bit more fun with it, and I feel like those Kinotrope fans still have to be a little bit concerned. Ladies and gentlemen, you are here watching the Luminosity team stream. I think it's going to be a very, very short break before we head into the qualifying series through Uppers versus Kenotrope. Of course, stick around if you want to watch the best team over here in APAC, the reigning champions, alongside myself and Quanzek, and I have just seen as well, drops have been enabled. So all the reason for you guys to stay on stream. We will see you all after the break.
You wanna know my feelings every time I look in your eyes. Baby, I can feel your energy, it's making me realize everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, you and I.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the official Luminosity Gaming team stream with myself, SirPigasus, alongside Quanzek. We're here in the upper bracket semi-final, of course. The winner of this series guarantees themselves qualification in the upper bracket of the hybrid bracket. And, well, we spoke about it before, Quanzek. It is a huge advantage being able to qualify yourself for that position, and we actually have ourselves a team to play which we have not played yet in this open. It is, of course, Kenotrope after a sweep versus Sensor Esports.
Yeah, we saw that as we were waiting for our opener matchup. A couple OT games, and the third one won pretty handily. It's a talented roster. Not a slouch by any means. It's Realize, Furlash, and remind me of the third. Who am I missing here?
Lunatic.
Thank you, Lunatic. Is the third there that will be rounding out that roster. Very talented Japanese roster. Kenotrope do have their own live stream going on, I believe, in both Japanese and English. So pick your poison there, and go show them some love. I think they're pulling about 9 times the amount of viewers that we are, but they're homegrown talent. They're a homegrown org, and they're representing their region. They deserve all of the praise, all the support that we can possibly give them. So, stay here, listen to us, but second tab, get it on Kenotrope
Yeah,
stream.
of course.
Yeah,
of course. We want to, of course, give some love to a full Japanese team with a Japanese organization backing it as well. Of course, you've got, dare I say, the one of the goats of APAC on that team as well, in the form of Realize. We have, of course, had those conversations of one of our players potentially eventually stealing that spot away from them, of course, Sphinx of Luminosity Gaming. But I think this is going to be a very telling series on whatever direction it goes. If it's extremely one-sided, I think that tells you everything you need to know about Luminosity Gaming. I think it tells you all you need to know about the talent that is Sphinx. And, well, we say next up, he's already there. He's already gotten himself an Asia Pacific MVP, and he just looks to get better and better and better. But if it's a close game, I feel like that still shows that, there's still some time to go before this team absolutely dominates. We obviously know that it is not, over yet by any means for any of these Kenotrope players. They competed really well in the first open. I feel like, quite honestly, they had the potential to do better as well. That wasn't a ceiling, that was a shock. I feel like they very much showed, close to their floor even. I genuinely rate this roster extremely highly. So, I couldn't ask for a better series here to find a potential qualifying match through the upper bracket than between Luminosity Gaming and Kenotrope. I think this is the series of the group.
Yeah, no, this is what we would hope for out of where we're at in terms of the open. Day number 4, still on the upper side of the bracket of the GSL. Should be a very great series, one that will spotlight the entirety of Group A. And you briefly mentioned this, but I'm just going to reiterate, a lot to play for here. Series win, you're qualified through to the upper side, and will be receiving a guaranteed top 6 finish, which is a big deal when it comes to standing and points and prize money and what have you. And so very much a lot to play for. Plus, you win this one, and regardless of how the next series goes, you're still through. It's just a seeding game. You don't have to worry about, do or die in your next series if you were to drop this one.
Yeah, absolutely. You already guarantee yourself our upper bracket quarterfinal. We spoke about how much of an advantage that truly is to get a round bye and a second life, even if it is just for that series solely, is such a nice buff to have. Of course, I do feel like that upper bracket finals is going to be a lot more impactful than it was recently, because we do have Elevate and Luminosity Gaming split into different groups. But I am hearing word here that we potentially
It's not.
have to wait 17
No.
minutes.
No,
Quanzek.
I-
I've just
I
seen
think-
it in chat. It's
Stop.
happening again.
Hold on.
It's
hold
happening
on.
again. Long
Pause.
break.
Pause. Hold on. I know
We gotta hold it, Quanzek. We gotta hold the fort.
Listen to me, Pegasus. Okay. My way too close, sultry voice is going to soothe everybody here. I think Furlash
It's kind of
is referencing the wait time for the Group B side. They do still have a delay. I'm hoping that he misread the announcement in the APAC RLCS server,
Maybe that's a chance.
and
Oh,
we
yep,
can
he
get
just said now the
underway
Group
here
A.
shortly. Thank you.
I mean, I would have done it. I would have done it again. We did it before, but we are like nearing on like somehow into 2 hours of this stream. Think like closer to an hour and a half, and we've covered 3 total games of Rocket League.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a record for me personally in terms of how long I've ever been live having to waffle and banter, and it's been a good time. You guys got to see
It
my
has been.
sweats. We talked about Crazy Frog in the intermission. I learned that
Peak.
even though I'm the one that recently went on the date, I am the lonely one here. Both the producer and Pegasus right next to me have their significant others on the phone listening along to the broadcast. I've never felt more alone recently. More power to them. You guys are so cute. But I don't have somebody to rely on like that. It's you, Pegasus. You are my rock in that instant.
Oh.
So hopefully
Gladly.
you can multitask, because
Gladly.
I need you, my friend.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I will always be your rock, my friend Quanzek, being a chill guy. I don't know about that last spiel. I don't know how chill that was. That was his least chill moment, obviously. Look at
I
smile at the
did
camera,
just
bro. My
crash out,
goodness.
yeah.
You, and I must say, the
I
ASMR you
crashed out
gave as
into
well.
an ASMR, yeah.
Peak. I was getting all the tingles. It was amazing. Again, if anyone got a clip of that, maybe send it to me after the stream. But I'm hearing that he might not be that long of a wait. I will snitch. It's Furlash on the other side who's been our point of contact for Kinotrope. Apparently, the channel is made to potentially get the lobby details together. And I feel like, look, I am so happy for these breaks. I'm so happy to be here alongside you, Quanzek. And I must say as well, we've had such a lovely chat here today. I must say, like, a lot of you guys coming over to this stream, likely for the first time for quite a lot of you as well. I've loved the love we've had in chat. It's been a lovely
100%.
positive space. I'm hoping that, the Luminosity Gaming team stream is going to have, a reputation for, being a bit fun, but of course showing the best Rocket League that Asia Pacific has to offer. And I think at the moment we are smashing exactly that. But of course that takes, the right response from people in chat as well. And what a community that we have together for the moment. And well, we have been teased by so much good Rocket League here,
True.
Quanzek, especially today. I mean, it's the main event. You were raring to go up at 1 a.m. in your local time to get this underway. All these breaks are, delaying the action for myself and people in chat, and all these breaks are delaying your bedtime, my friend.
Look, yes, and I'm here for it, okay? I will say, when we first came back from break, I yawned, I think, 3 times in the span of like 4 minutes. Every
Because I
single
was
time I
talking.
yawned, no. Every single time I yawned, I have my hand over here. I had to get a big stretch in there, but I felt like ashamed, because what we have here on deck is going to be fabulous Rocket League. It's high stakes in the GSL stage. I just refused to, when we were prepping for the cast, Pegasus was like, you didn't sleep, did you? You just stay up the entire time and just run late on these days? And I was like, yeah, because I don't want to sleep from 5 to midnight my time, or 17 to zeros, because that's when everything happens leisure-wise. If I'm gonna meet with friends, if I'm gonna go out, I don't want to be snoozing in my bed when I just get home from work and prep for a cast. So I'm gonna stay up the entire time. I'm gonna make it happen, and I apologize for the couple of yawns that I have let out because this stream does not deserve them. I just, admittedly, did not get enough sleep before pulling the relative late night I'm having right now. So it's not because I'm bored, it's because 24 hours ago, I only got like 4 hours of sleep as opposed to the 8 that I should have. So,
and well, I think, you know, there aren't many things you'd be up at this time at night for yourself for than Luminosity playing. I think that the fact that you are here, awake and maybe yawning,
there you go.
still
Yes,
on the stream,
thank you.
is if anything a compliment to you know how much of an amazing opportunity
No other team.
this
I wouldn't
is,
do
and
this for any
no
other team.
no other team, and also I feel like there has to be some respect for you as well for taking this on and being here. So ladies and gentlemen, that is why I'm going to say we do have a command in chat. It's called !casters. You can check out myself and Quanzek on Twitter. Please give some support to Quanzek. Please follow his Twitter. He is, it's blackout where he is at the moment, but still got himself on stream, still got himself ready. And if you follow his account, he might start posting some more pictures of himself. I know that's frankly what everyone here on the broadcast would like. Hold on, come on, we gotta establish that promise. I'm trying to get you up here. I'm trying to get you up. Come on. Just play along.
Look,
just for the time being.
I
just
need to work on my Twitter game. If you guys follow me there, shoot me a DM of like a type of selfie you want me to take, or like,
oh my goodness, that's dangerous.
Give me like a scene to end up in. I'll take the picture. I'll tag you in it, and we're good. We're off to the races. We'll be setting up a little test lobby here, so series number 2 on the way shortly. And in the interim between that and now, I want to take this 2 cents to also give a shout out to the lad on this isn't mirrored, right? No, this side. Thank you. Look at me, I can't even figure out the directions for my camera. The man this way, SirPigasus.
Oh, I thought you were talking of someone else. I wasn't picking myself up like that, I promise, Jack.
Oh, really? The first time he and I casted together was a mere month ago. Okay? Like a month and a week ago. We were in the booth for the first time ever for a Benelux tournament. I instantly fell in love with his style and him as a person, and told him, look, any opportunities you have, anything that I have, I want us together, because I think there's something here tangible that we can hang on to and grab. It was so fluid off the jump. I think we've only refined it from there. The fact that we're only a month into everything here says something. My friend, you have quickly turned into a fantastic person for me to talk to. I'm so appreciative to have met you, to have gotten to know you.
Oh my goodness, this is lovely.
And I could not ask for a better partner to be in the booth with me for the wonderful Rock League that we have going on. And hopefully this is the start to many, many things to come down the line. So thank you.
Listen, it's an absolute pleasure to be alongside you here as well, and you can support us. We are hoping to cast with each other as much as possible. We were together on Wild, we're together on Redirect Esports as well, and with references of Redirect, I feel like there's the right person to shout, who I thought you were initially talking about, by the way, when I was like, yeah, definitely deserves all their flowers, and then you were like, SirPigasus, and I was like, whoa, hold on, I was not that self-serving. Of course, it's our wonderful producer. It is Hazard. It's Mr. Efi for himself. I have put his Twitter in chat as well. Yet again, exclamation mark producer. He's the one with all the the beautiful in-game shots as well. He's been observing and producing at the same time because he's the best of the best. Speaking of the best, they have finally gotten themselves in a lobby, ladies and gentlemen. This is for qualification in the upper quarter final. We have ourselves. Oh, they reset? Did you say?
Well,
sorry, I just got word from our producer here.
And Hazard,
it's a new test lobby. The first test lobby was broken,
is
apparently.
In all-knowing, powerful entity.
I thought we were rocking in.
Look, but
Oh.
you see that section top right of our screen here, Pegasus? You see how
Yeah, let
that's
me have a
us
look.
there and not the game? Hazard doesn't make
Yeah. Look,
You
my
were
mistake.
just
My
giving him
mistake.
props. How
My
do you
mistake.
think Hazard would take us into the
Yeah,
game
that's true.
and
like,
not have
yeah.
the game on screen? Hazard doesn't make those
Yeah, yeah,
mistakes. Hazard is perfect.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I shouldn't have doubted him. I shouldn't have doubted him, admittedly. However, I have just seen a message in chat that says, this second test lobby. I didn't even know that, that was a thing that was happening right now. To be honest, I was too, locked into your beautiful eyes. I didn't realize that's what was going on. I have just seen that in the chat. They have said, "All right, let's start." I believe that we are finally going to have this series underway, ladies and gentlemen. Do I need to introduce it again? It's Kinotrope versus Luminosity Gaming to, of course, qualify for the upper quarterfinals. They secure themselves, of course, that second life. They secure themselves that first round bye as well. Luminosity Gaming, some of the future bests of the best versus some former bests of the best as well, but still extremely competitive. The full Japanese organization and roster, it's Kinotrope versus Luminosity. Here we go.
I'm hoping for everything. We've hyped this up to be nothing short of that. Sosa, who else to get things started for Luminosity? Sosa, time and time again, has been the one to score those individual mechanical plays from anywhere. Catalysm, we saw a couple of long bomb goals from himself in our first series, and the first 30 seconds has come and gone in the middle of my yapping, and in the midst of that smoke screen, the demo in the corner, it's Kinotrope breaking out of their half and doing better than the majority of rosters we see against Luminosity, who concede very early, but Luminosity hoping to change that. Good bump there, shot on by Sosa, wide left.
And Sphinx look to shut this one down to get underneath third lash, but realise waiting on that right wall, and you can immediately feel the pace increase. I feel like this is going to be the closest series of the Open so far. Even the match against Sensor, I don't think had this quick of a start. I believe we saw them maybe take on the first 30 seconds, and then it was Luminosity to progress forward and then make that what was quite a one-sided finish to the Swiss stage. But of course, this is GSL now. The stakes increasing, the potential for prize pull also on the line here. It does get guaranteed. Sosa coming off that corner wants that second touch. Instead, it is going to be what looks like a dangerous infield pass there from Kinotrope, but it's calculated well. Catalysm, again, back wall, realise, able to make that clearance, and Luminosity have spent some time in that final third, but Kinotrope have done well to siphon off to the corner. Still, one moment found there by Sosa for a bit of space in the middle, and of course, he'll take full advantage.
It's not necessarily as pretty and elegant as a lot of the other goals that we've seen Luminosity score so far today, but it is good enough. Sosa, that long bomb shot, helped along by a bump to remove the final defender, threads the needle, so Luminosity on the board first, and that's something that is far too common at this point. But, that's just how things
This
go.
is Rocket League.
Exactly.
This is Rocket League.
Luminosity Rocket League specifically, with them almost always on the board first. Sphinx hoping to make it two. That's a really good dunk. It's off the back wall. He steals the corner boost, but Luminosity really reserved. They're showing the respect early here with how deep that second and third man were in Catalysm. And what is that team pinch? All from corner to corner, basically, and actually had a chance to be on frame at a certain point there.
Lunatic, flip reset. This one takes its way off the back wall. Catalysm has to try and shut this one down. He has Sphinx ready there for the overlap. Plenty of boost in the tank as well. You see Sosa weighing in field, and they've loved the passing plays between them. Sosa gets his second, and he is just so consistent. 2 shots, 2 goals, 100% conversion rate. And as soon as you see these two players with a decent tank of boost, you know that there's potential for that team play, which is almost unstoppable for the rest of the pool over here in Asia Pacific.
It's a really good connection there. The tail end of the pass, there's a small little chip forward, an insult to injury here. This seems to be how it plays out every single time, Pegasus. Luminosity find one, and then all of a sudden they found 3. And Luminosity now up 3-0 in a matter of seconds after Kinentrope looked like they were poised. They looked like they were offsetting things to the corners and buying themselves time. It's really just up to Luminosity to crack the code, and maybe Lunatic doing a little bit of that of his own. What a brilliant, steep angled shot here. It's not an ideal touch from Luminosity, and Lunatic, he's not going to be one to miss out on that opportunity.
And can we just talk about that Luminosity play there on the back wall? What do you have to have on you to go for a psycho in a game which, if you win, you make the upper bracket? Luminosity always full of entertainment. They do make it 4 very quickly after Keenan were able to get their first goal, and it's just from a really well-worked play there from Sosa. He's been absolutely unreal in this opening game so far. 2 great goals to his name, an assist as well just to match, and if he continues playing like this, he's going to be absolutely unstoppable. A chance here for him to collect his hat-trick, but Lunatic does manage to get that clearance. It is Catalysm who will very confidently bring this ball back into the corner. Now you see all 3 players on Luminosity poised here in defense. It's going to be a very tough team to break, as they've continued to be throughout the open so far. Realize bring this one towards the wall. Sosa though is lurking 50-50s, typically a lot stronger than that, but now it's Catalysm on that back wall. Back wall was the danger area for that first goal for Keenatrope, but this one looking a lot more calm, learning from previous mistakes here. And well, you know you can't give Keenatrope that space. You know you can't give them those opportunities, because quite honestly, that goal they were able to pull off, it wasn't the easiest of angles. Of course, you do expect a team of this talents to pull it off, but I feel like that just goes to show you the respect you have to land on this team. And it makes it ever more impressive, almost the disrespect Luminosity are giving them with all these psycho attempts and mechanical plays constantly being thrown against them.
Offensively, yeah, there is very little respect being shown from Luminosity. They're confident, they're going for insane plays that you would really only pull out in free play in Beckwith Park at midnight. That seems to be the go-to map for everybody to work on their mechanics. But Luminosity, you have seen the respect defensively. Every single time Kinatrope is barreling at them, Luminosity's peeling off. They're not setting a second or third man to commit. They're happy to sit closer to their net and fend off the attack, because they know Kinatrope, if given the opportunity, like Lunatic had earlier, they're going to capitalize on these chances. They're looking for a second here. Good infield pass, and even better booming clear by Sphinx, who's actually still close enough to get a double. It will be a 4-1 scoreline to finish game number 1, but Kinatrope, much better overall game than almost anybody we've seen Luminosity play so far this open. It did look close for parts of that game. It's just Luminosity's ridiculous efficiency offensively that won them that game more than anything.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was actually equal on the shot count between these two teams. It was 5 shots to 5, and I believe that both Sosa and Catalysm had 2 shots to their name. Equally, they had 2 goals to their name as well, which just goes to show you the consistency that this team has overall in offense. It just knows that once they find that killer pass, there's really little chance that they're going to sky it, they're going to send it wide, they're going to shoot it straight at the keeper. Absolutely not. It's top corners almost every single time, and if they need to blast it down the middle, they'll blast it down the middle. They'll beat the defender as well. It just feels like you really cannot give this team any space, but it's not to say that Kinatrope have been doing that. They're just so good at creating it. A lot of these plays, I feel like, have been more compliments going towards the assist than the goal itself. And it's been a bunch of these dribbles which have, you know, broken their way through one player, maybe a second as well. And that space has been achieved. It's not that Kinatrope have been falling back. They've been playing a bit too defensive. They've been playing a bit too safe. They just open it up themselves, and it's going to be a demo to do it this time. Luminosity, again, open up the scoring.
Luminosity, prove your point as you're talking about it. The highlight in this series, look, it's a Prophet right here, Prophet Pegasus. Luminosity, the goals they're scoring are not this series, it's not fantastic mechanical solo plays, long bomb goals. It is the assist man creating a selfless dynamic where they generate all of this space. They beat one, maybe two, and then get a dime of a pass on a rope to their teammate. And it just turns into an open net time and time again for Luminosity. We saw the idea of an inlet pass here from Luminosity. Sosa working in the corner, and it'll be realized getting a demo onto Catalysm in lieu of his attempted clear there. Here's an infield pass. Sosa was pre-jumping. That's the first time I think we've seen them not on the same page on a pre-jump pass, but you can see the communications there. Realize foot reset shot on, easily dealt with by Sphinx, and they have enough boost to go down at least halfway through the pitch. Catalysm, good mind games there. A little chip to Furlash, and lets Furlash dish that right back into him. Realize Speedier here, though, and maybe a chance for Kinatrop. Good pass!
Ooh.
It's off the post and back out, though.
And again, you can feel that offense slowly increasing here from Kinatrove, and Luminosity's defense has matched, but oh my goodness! It's Sphinx yet again, and how many resets was this one? One Corvette, I believe that's a stall. He gets the second, and then finds the target. That is, I mean, a comp clip hitter play here at the highest level of Asia Pacific against the GOAT.
I don't want to say anything. I don't want to take away from the moment that goal just created. We need to have, it needs to be put on like a podium. And the dynamic that we need to have is everybody coming up and, you know, showing respect, bowing down, because that was gorgeous from Sphinx, continuing to generate a name for himself. And I think we're witnessing the birth of a star here. Not just on the side of Luminosity, not just in the APAC region, but a global talent that will be able to make waves no matter what region they're playing in, no matter what team they're a part of. Luminosity tasked defensively. Furlash, good pass over to Lunatic, but even better chip away by Sosa, connecting with Sphinx, who's looking back for Sosa. They try to give a little give and go and get the bump on the back end, but Sphinx just couldn't get there in time.
Well, we already have a highlight to look out for after the game here, but still Rocket League to be played. Kinatrope still had their odd few opportunities, which have had just able to squeak one through. It's not impossible that an overtime is on the cards here for this second game, although you'd be hard-pressed to go against Luminosity with the way they've been playing so far, especially, like we said before, Sphinx pulled off an absolutely insane goal. That's the last time I underestimate him with low boost but possession on the ball there high in the air. Furlash looking to hold this 50-50. Catalysm looking to tighten the vice on this offense, but still Kinatrope are lurking out. Catalysm gets rid of anyone too dangerous, and Sosa finds the target yet again for the third goal. And look, in these kinds of positions, it's almost guaranteed. If he picks it up just inside or outside the 6-yarder, it's already over. Amayo Amu Shindaru, third goal in for Luminosity. Kinatrope just can't hold on.
Sosa has to be among the best in the entire world at finding redirect touches or shots on with the very edges of his car. What is this? Is this mind games, or is this Furlash just not connecting? I'm going to give credit to Sosa here and give Furlash the benefit of the doubt. Sosa hits the flip reset, positions his car behind the ball, so the ball's eclipsing what he's doing, and he's using that flip reset to twirl his car as if he's going to make contact, force a jump out from Furlash, and it's insult to injury here off kickoff Pegasus.
It was just the pre-jump here as well that followed by Catalysm. So confident at essentially maximum pace as well. I mean, such a calm head on those shoulders. So calculated as well. This was the kickoff strat that we were speaking about during Swiss.
We did see this
and
a couple
even
of times.
against the best here.
even against Kenotrope. It works so consistently. I absolutely love it.
It's flawless. So it's somebody coming in on the diagonal right kickoff. They fake that initial kickoff, swing wide right, and it's the cheap man in the middle that takes a delayed 50 in a perfect pass over to the one coming from the back right corner who's waiting for it. It's flawless, it's seamless, it's so well designed. In the 3 or 4 times they've used it, it's been an immediate goal every single time. And now Luminosity, it's a 7-0 deficit, Pegasus, and it felt like it was just 1-0 10 seconds ago. What has happened?
Luminosity happened, frankly. I mean, 90 seconds ago, it was 2-0 in Luminosity's favour, and I was talking about Kenotrope, saying, look, they've had the attack, they're really building something up here in offense. Luminosity are gonna have to be a bit careful, because if they, you know, allow a few to squeak through, we might find ourselves in overtime. 45 seconds later, not even half a 90. And all of a sudden, we see Luminosity 7-0 up. That's now turned 7-1, as it's the second Brazil of the day here on the broadcast. This time against a top 8, top 6 team in the form of Kenotrope. I mean, I just cannot believe how consistent this Luminosity team is. Even when they're facing a little bit of a challenge. And Kenotrope will likely exit this game with the last 2 goals falling towards them. It just feels like they've got another level they can constantly throw themselves to. So just when we think we've got ourselves a game, we've got ourselves a series, we are very quickly reminded. A big splash of cold water here at, what is it, almost 3 a.m. for you, Quanzek. To just say, Luminosity are the best team in Asia Pacific. There are 2 teams to look out for, and at the moment, we're the premier of those 2.
I don't even know if... Look.
You're not dreaming. I promise you. You're not dreaming. They are that good.
And
they are just that good, Quanzek.
That's what I'm dealing with here right now. Me fumbling my words there.
Hold on, this goal.
Oh, gorgeous.
Wow.
From Sphinx. Me fumbling my words just now is not because I'm tired. It's not because I'm, bored and I'm like a garbage caster, which, if that's your opinion, cool. That's my apologies. I'm working on it. My lack of words there is that what Luminosity are accomplishing, what they're able to do, I want to find the language to give it justice. And I don't know the vocabulary to do so. They require words that I do not know because I'm just merely a simpleton who doesn't have the fabulous imagery in my dialogue yet, but I'm hoping to add that to my dialect here shortly. Kenotrope with a kickoff goal of their own, but I'm going to wrap up my point with this here, Pegasus. Luminosity are playing more mind games here on the kickoff. Luminosity are playing so good, and you said there's 2 teams to look out for. I think if you compared this gameplay to the gameplay that we saw at the final of the first Open against Elevate, I think this Luminosity team beats that Luminosity team, and it's not close. I think it's a sweep between those 2 rosters. So, with what we're seeing right now from Luminosity, they play like this. I want to see them play Elevate because I think Luminosity, they're on a tier of their own. I don't think Elevate can compete with what we're seeing right now.
Well, I'm just going to agree with you. Look, I'm in this biased spot. I'm here on the Luminosity team stream, of course, but I just think as a Rocket League fan as well, it's just been too promising what we've seen so far. I mean, I just have to circle back to that Sphinx goal. Even though it's just a singular mechanical play and you shouldn't judge a team based off it, getting the stall off the wall before his timer runs out, and then getting that second reset, barely any boost left in the tank, and still breaking your way through Keenan. I mean, that is not an easy feat here. And, well, there's been a bit more challenge in this third game ever since Keenan got that first goal, but I was saying that during the second game, and then within seconds, there was a 5-6 goal difference, so all of a sudden, just out of nowhere. And, you know, you never really know what to expect here with Luminosity. It is typically positive, but the nature at which that reaches you, always up to question. Catalysm back on the ball. Net looking open. He still needs to catch that reset to find its way inside. Furlash knew the only angle there. That ball was going to find the target at that near post. Does well to get that save. It is back up to Catalysm. 50-50s. Land against Furlash. You see Sphinx aggressive there with the boost grab as well. We spoke about how those small aspects of the play can really shake things up. He's going for the pancake yet again, but he's unable to catch it. Lunatic back forward. Wall dashes to follow, looking for that infield pass, but Catalysm does well to hold.
We've got to see one of those today, right?
We have
I
to.
understand that at this pace, we only have one more series, but we've seen that pancake attempt at least 5 times now, and they've been really close a couple of times. This Luminosity roster has had such a glow up since the initial open, and I'm glad, Taizuko, you're agreeing with me right now, because this roster, I think we're still not even seeing the peak of what they have, and yet compared to what they were doing 2 weeks ago, they're miles better, and I think they dwarf what Elevate is putting out on the pitch right now. We will see how that plays out headed into the rest of the weekend. For now, it's Luminosity staring down the sweep over the top of Kindertrope, but this team is something special. They're going to make waves, not just here, but internationally as well.
Yeah, and I would just love to agree with you that I truly believe this is a team that will show itself at the international level, and I do just want to point out that Elevate have dropped a game against Blue Torch in their upper bracket semi-final. That is a current game 3, 1-1 game score between those two teams. That's a very interesting result. Very fascinated to see how that one turns around. Sosa, so he collects this ball. It's going to be big 50 off that right. Realise, thought he had the read, but it spilled its way through. And Sphinx, of course, is going to punish.
Who else?
I did not expect that from Realise. My goodness.
It's a devastating position for Kindertrope to be in. It's all 3 members basically in the same spot of their own net, all with 0 boost. All Sphinx had to do was get that remotely off of the air, and it was going to go into the back of the net. So Luminosity will find the go-ahead, and with only just over a minute remaining on this clock, it's, I think, a formality. Well, they have the insurance. They're looking for more, but even if they don't get it, we've seen them score with just this deficit. And look at this pass by Catalysm. What?
He's just able to keep that ball so close to his car, completely snipes out Sosa. I said it before, I'll say it again. Any area just around the 6-yard box, if you find Sosa, you find a Luminosity goal. Guaranteed. Here he is again. This is a bit further out, Lunatic. Able to make that save. Catalysm looking to find this way back in field. Now you truly have that insurance goal. You can afford to concede. They might, but Sosa does well on his goal line. Catalysm is required as well. Big double save here coming out of LG. And if that's the one area that you can still put up to question, that defense, I think you got all your answers right there. They haven't been challenged all too often. Keenatrope have thrown a few against them, and look at the way they're able to hold.
And I mean, Luminosity, we were saying, hey, if they don't get the insurance goal, they don't need to worry regardless. The defense is so good. Sphinx collecting a savior medal in him and Sosa. How has this worked? They're off the sidewall at the same time. They're flopping on top of each other. They're both racing for the ball. A couple flip resets in turn. And I think at a certain point, Pegasus, you just have to lick the stamp and send it. Luminosity look so good right now.
Yep, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the game. This was the series that qualifies Luminosity Gaming back to the upper bracket of the hybrid stage, back into those upper quarterfinals. They swept their way towards that position. We will be here for one more series. It will be purely for seeding, but as it stands, this team looks unbeatable. They are yet to go down a game, at least ever since the Swiss stage. I'm not quite sure on the beforehand. They're on their way to get a perfect open. Oh yeah, of course they didn't play. Oh, yeah. How can I forget? The champions don't have to play double elim. They just don't. They just don't. How rude of me to even suggest that. So, they're lossless so far. Lossless.
Yep.
Insane.
Correct. This is on track for the perfect open run. 15-0. One more series today. We've already qualified into Saturday's top 8. This series upcoming will be simply for seeding. The winner will get the 1 seed coming out of Group A. The loser will get the 2 seed coming out of Group A. And those two will flip-flop for who comes out of Group B. So, obviously, we want to win. But, with that being said, not all that essential in the grand scheme of things. It's going to give you an edge. And every little bit of that matters at this level, but in all honesty, Luminosity could come in as the 8th seed into the bracket tomorrow, and I think still dominate their way through. This team is inevitable with anything they try to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it does matter. I feel like we mentioned it before a little bit, how I don't think seeding fully did us justice for what we should be for a team that, you know, did go on to 9 over Swiss. But Jungle Juicers versus Dekabop Dumnem is what we have on screen at the moment. Whoever wins this series will be our opponents in that upper bracket finals. I will say I'm very impressed with the Jungle Juicers performance so far here. I really did not expect the Game 4 victory versus Rounds. I mean, you look at the talent on this roster, and yeah, certainly. I mean, there are good players here to look out for. Of course, I know I personally am rather familiar with just around Europe, seeing these guys play every now and again. But I don't know. I feel like I would have put Rounds that level higher, especially with how they played in the first open as well. They managed to get themselves so far. I believe they got, I want to say top 4, and they actually dropped to Dekabop Dumnem in the form of a sweep or something similar to that in the first open. So
yes,
yeah, that was a very, very early bomb into the lower bracket. But I feel like, you know, in this series especially, they're definitely proving their worth, because that exact Dekabop Dumnem team I was complimenting before for getting that sweep against Rounds are being brought to potentially Game 5 with how this game is going.
Yeah, and Dekabop Dumnem, they're a good roster. I started with them this season in APAC because, you know, it was still up in the air who would be over here on the Luminosity stream. I'm happy I'm here. I don't want to go back, but it is a good group of lads over there who play some good Rocket League, and they're no slouch of a team by any means. And so Jungle Juicers, taking them to 5 is a big deal, especially when you expound that. You mentioned it yourself with the Rounds victory on the opposite end. I do think Rounds is the worst of the two predominantly Finnish rosters, but I mean, even with that being said, Jungle Juicers look poised to go to 5 against Dekabop Dumnem and have a chance to win and get their ticket into the upper side of Saturday's top 8.
And Rounds have themselves quite a difficult run to play. I have seen that 360, which was the team that got a forfeit in the upper bracket versus Dekabop Dumnem to qualify them into this position, are actually playing in the lower bracket quarterfinals versus Rounds at the moment. So it's nice to see that they were able to eventually show up. But it's going to be a really hard time for Rounds in the lower bracket semi-final, because they are going to have to play Kinotrope. And I know, you know, if you don't watch APAC all too often, you were probably looking at that last series being like, oh, Kinotrope, I don't understand all the hype. Trust me, they do deserve it. It's just LG are just a completely different force. I think Rounds are going to struggle against Kenotrope if they are the team that does qualify to that lower bracket semis. And of course, I would say the same for 360 as well. But oh my goodness, hold on. I did not see this result. I don't know if you're looking over at the bracket at the moment here, Quanzek. Senza Esports, of course, coming off a sweep against Kenotrope, which was a brutal result for them. In lower bracket, they get swept by Praise.
Did they really?
Yes, swept by Praise, it says here, and I'm seeing game scores reported accurately.
Wow. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, nope, you're right. I am seeing this now. We complimented Praise in their series against Luminosity. We said that, hey, this roster looks good. They look like they can play against some of the top 12, top 16 talent easily, and past that as well. And Senza, I don't know if it's a collapse on their end or if it's Praise playing up, but the takeaway is that's an upset by Praise to keep their tournament lives alive.
Absolutely.
And Senza finishes today 0-6 to get dropped before making top 8.
What a day. What a day that this is. And just to remind everyone, that Praise team, they got to round 5 of the Swiss stage in Open 1. And just about were not able to pull through and make top 16. Senza, of course, the shock team that, beat Elevate and, burst their way onto the scene. They made, I believe it was top 6 in Open 1 as well. That top 6 team is now within the ranks of what? 13 to 16, I think they'll go down as, after getting that sweeping loss versus Praise. And they're going to have to go back to double Elim.
They won't qual automatically either. They'll have to play the opening 2 days. So, oh man, it's quite the fall from grace if you're a Senza esports fan. But I don't know, maybe it's
Praise.
Yeah, it definitely could be Praise. We did say like, hey, this is a quality roster, and I wouldn't be surprised if they just played better. But then you also have to look at, Senza got swept by Kenotrope, and we like Kenotrope too, but Senza should have definitely taken at least one game in either of those series. Any which one.
Absolutely, and we were able to watch party that series as well between Senza and Kenotrope. It was overtimes for game 1, game 2, and I believe that last game was only a 2-goal difference, and that second goal came late in the final minute as well. Like, those were extremely close games, and it didn't feel like there was that much difference between Senza and Kenotrope. I know that a sweep will definitely tell you otherwise. Like, yes, one team is better at, edging out a series. Their goals are going to look a lot more favorable as well because of that and how they were consistently able to do it.
Yeah.
But, if you just compare them game by game, really wasn't much between them. Are you telling me that if, Kenotrope are in that position of the lower bracket, they're getting swept by Praise? No. I would be extremely surprised. I don't think that would be the case. I wouldn't have bet on them even losing in the first place. Still, even after watching them against Luminosity get played around a little bit by the champions, I still would not have made that prediction that they would be able to beat this Praise team. And I thought Senza, we were going to see them in the lower brackets semi-finals for, I believe it's either Decabop Damnem or Jungle Juices to play. Wow! I mean, APAC's got depth now. It is amazing. It is amazing.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest takeaway, and you kind of just have to call into question if Senza in the first Open was more of a fluke than anything. They played well.
It's such a hard call.
I completely understand, which is why I'm posing this question as more of a rhetorical than something that needs to be answered right now, because if you asked me this question, I don't know what the takeaway is, but Senza had a few statement wins in the first Open, namely that 3-1 victory over Elevate in the Swiss, or in the qualifier, not even the, actually, was it Swiss? No, it was in the qualifier game on Saturday of the first Open. It was the final double Elim qual day. They won 3-1 over the top of Elevate. and they played well through that point, but maybe they're downloaded, maybe they're, they were the new trend, and once teams learned who they were, what they were doing, it wasn't that difficult to adjust. I'm really curious as to what the monumental collapse was, and just to briefly get back on track to what you guys are seeing on screen here, maybe we're seeing a little bit of that as well from Jungle Juicers. Deku Optimum have found 2 in the last minute, maybe make it 3, and if Jungle Juicers were to lose this, they lose a game 4 and a game 5 in conceding fashion over Deku Optimum, but it doesn't look like they're done yet.
No, absolutely not. Still just over 100 seconds left here in this game, and it has been pretty close between them. That's a big mistake coming from Dekubop Dumnem, but we can say from being on their team stream as well, they do just have those random moments where they completely break down in defense and just let a very easy one, just like Jungle Juicers, were able to score just then. I feel like on offense, especially, this Dekubop Dumnem team is really strong. It's exactly what you'd expect from a trio of Porsos, Dansku, and Regsa. Anyone who's, speaking into existence. Anyone who's very, acclimatized to the European scene, especially, will know what offensive powerhouses these 3 players are. And my goodness, that doesn't get any more top corner, does it? But defensively, I think, is definitely where this team find their weak points, and it's a lot of unforced errors in really crucial situations that I think bring this team down a peg compared to the top of the top. I mean, they got themselves a top 4, of course, in Open 1, and they feel like they are a team that can be deserved of that consistently, but I think for that consistency, these one-off mistakes have to start to feel more like one-off mistakes than as consistent, unfortunately, as they have been in both Opens.
Yeah, when I was covering their initial Open run, I immediately picked up on the fact that Deku Optimum, if they are thriving offensively, they're able to set up pressure and maintain it, you're not even going to see a single shot on their net. The flip side is, if you can get into their half, they're going to make unforced mechanical errors. They're going to lead to open nets. And the reason why a lot of that happens is because their offensive rotation is so aggressive. They don't come all the way out to the midfield line the majority of the time. They're cycling in the offensive third, grabbing only the bottom edge pennies that you see around the arena and the corner boost, occasionally coming back out to the midfield line. But constantly, you won't see the third man in their own half. They're playing inside of the oppositions, hoping to find that rebound, which more leads to these long transfer goals that we're seeing from Deku Optimum's opposition, but they've done well to hold on here. Jungle Juicers got to a 2-1 series lead, lost games 4 and 5, so it will be Deku Optimum coming our way to meet us in the upper bracket final 4 seeding.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm just going to have a little peek onto Group B as well to see who those potential mirror matchups are going to be in that other upper bracket final. I can see that Elevate is currently leading versus Blue Torch 2-1 after what was a 3-minute overtime in that game 3 as well. So Blue Torch certainly causing some issues there for the former top team here of APAC, but they're definitely the team I expect to see in that upper bracket final. 90+7 versus Free Rat is going to be an absolute banger of a series. But same for Kinotrope versus Rounds and Lowers. Same for Jungle Juicers versus Praise and Lowers of Group A. Group A, I feel like, is where the majority of the action is at. But that's all going to be very concentrated on that upper bracket finals between Dekubop Dumnen and Luminosity Gaming. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back after a break. So SirPigasus and Quanzek, please do not go anywhere.
all for the best, cause I know we're a mess every time we're together. Going out of my mind, and I wish I could lie, tell you that it gets better. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months where I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. I can't seem to.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the Luminosity team stream. This time, I'm taking it away here for the RLCS APAC Open number 2 on the quest for the Birmingham Major. We are already into day 4 of the GSL stage, and of this stage, we are now in the winners finals. Technically, they're called upper bracket final. More or less the same thing. Both these teams have qualified Pegasus. It's going to be Luminosity, obviously, and Dekubopdunum. We saw them in the watch party taking on Jungle Juicers. And that result was a 3-2 victory over the top of them. So Dekubopdunum coming in here a little bit warmer, but they did have an FF to start their day.
Yeah, had both the easiest series to play of the day and one of the hardest as well, having to face Jungle Juicers and go all the way to game 5 to grab that victory. And I believe they're actually coming into this upper bracket final, coming in from that Swiss stage as the first seed, just because of, you know, a bunch of Buchel's calculations and the likes. But I feel like we're still going to have our favourites here on this broadcast, and it is going to be Luminosity Gaming again for the 3rd series in a row. It looks like that the prediction we've got on the channel is very one-sided towards Luminosity. I feel like someone just threw themselves on Nay just so people could actually win something. So after that last one,
I have a very oh my gosh, I can't speak. I have a very analytical brain here, Pegasus.
Go on.
My major is aerospace engineering. It is math. It is physics. I saw the prediction points put up, and I had to resist every urge of my body to not put up only 10 channel points on the opposition in the off chance that Dekubopdunum won. And I ran away with a boatload of points, but I thought, hey, I'm here on the team stream. It would be heresy if I betted against ourselves, and so I refrained despite the mathematical payout probabilities that were flashing over and over in my head.
Listen, I'm a mathematician. I'm covering mathematics at university at the moment, and they teach you about expected values, my friend. Probabilities of certain things happening and what the general value of your decision would be. I feel like with Luminosity, despite the smaller payout that you would have, of course, on your points, I think they are still too heavy favourites to win this, but your expected value still tips your scale to that favour if you want to, you know, make yourself some points. But Dekubopdunum, this is a team that we certainly have a lot of opinions on. You were their full-time host for their team streams in Open number 1, and I just kind of slid in there for the GSL stage. And to be fair, watched them have an absolutely cracking run, able to take down 3 rats as well to qualify themselves. That was a shock result to many in those regards. They went on to make top 4. But they do have a very big weakness, I would say. They have a very established play style, which, you know, for a lot of teams, having a nice established play style, being, you know, one of the best in the world at that kind of style they play, is usually a positive. But when they have such clear negatives to go alongside it, it can tip away from your favour. And we did speak about it a little bit on the watch party. Very offensive. They defend with offense. They need to be in possession. They rotate very, very tight in that final third. But should they lose the control, their defense definitely can be shaky at times. I can see on the other screen we are getting players slowly loaded into the official lobby. This will be the upper bracket finals, of course, versus with Dekubopdunum versus Luminosity Gaming. This is for seeding to dictate whether we play the likes of Elevate or 90+7. Of course, also dependent on the result of that mirror matchup. I'm sure most people here will be wanting to snipe 90+7, But either way, I've got faith in LG all through the upper bracket. They're going for that perfect open. Still yet to lose a game here in open number 2. Will it start here? My predictions say no, Quanzek, but only one way to decide it. It's over here on the pitch. Luminosity versus Dekubob Dumnem.
What I'm really looking to see here, we highlighted. Okay. Oh, I thought that was in. I already stopped talking. I was like, okay, yep, more of the same. This is just where we're at. Everybody, buckle up because it'll be you're in here for the ride. What I want to look for out of Dekubob right now, more than anything, we talked about their playstyle. We talked about how fluid and successful they can be running that one identity that they've molded into. It's tried and true. When you're playing a team like Luminosity, who can beat you any which way, who can adapt to what you're throwing at them, you also need to be the ones to adjust and make those changes, and that's not something I've found out of Dekubob. And oh my gosh, that would have been a thing of beauty. The immediate cut by Sosa into a team pinch. It'll be just wide right of the mark, but Luminosity still feeling themselves, and who can blame them?
Ugh. I mean, they've just been so consistent. So why stop here in the upper bracket finals? I love that fake attempt coming from Sosa. He creates such lovely opportunities for goals, and he may have just done it yet again. Catalysm looking to pounce, but poor Sus does well to make that save. Regsa not going to make any progressions in that play. It's all up to Sphinx. Still low boost. Still not resorting for those 50-50s, however. All high plays, all confident, all very front-footed, and that's just the kind of style I think you're going to get from both of these teams, to be frank here, Quanzek. They could have done them. Love to just chase that ball forward, stay as tight as they can, play really fast, rapid rotations, but Luminosity might just be able to beat them at their own game. Catalysm required to make that save. Won't get the corner boost either. He's pinned to his defense for quite some time now.
Does well, though, on just the 0 boost, and this goes back to our first series of the day. Luminosity doing so much with so little when they are asked to meet that ball where it's at. Sphinx, good challenge onto Donsku, and they'll both careen into that sidewall there, land at basically the same spot, look to recover. Regster off his own backboard, and look at this play by Donsku, turning his teammates clear, powerful clear, into a pass down the opposite direction. That demo will open up a lot of space, but Donsku rotates all the way back for boost. I think it's beat by Catalysm, so there was a lot of open greenery on Luminosity's half, but a greedy boost rotation from Dekubob means they won't be able to capitalize. With that being said, they've still found their way into Luminosity's half. Sosa booming touch will send it right back, and it's been 3 minutes here, Pigasus, and we're none the wiser for who will be on top and in the lead in this game 1.
Oh, Sosa looking to give you an answer. Poor Sus again making the save. He's already got himself that saviour medal. You can see top right for Sphinx. Flip reset, drops this one down to Catalysm, just as Regsa to be, and Sosa wanted to be there on the follow-up. That is a very rare miss coming from him. Sphinx looked to be tricked there by Regsa, but was cool, calm, collected, did well in defense, doing even better in offense as well, looking for those bumps, still hunting for the second, and Catalysm signed the death certificate. First goal, Luminosity, with 90 seconds to spare.
Sphinx does well to get in the way, but what I really like here by Catalysm, it's a good heads-up play. They have it on their hood. They have nothing but the net to look at, but they take a possession touch. Great save by Sosa here off the kickoff. Gets rewarded with that full boost as well. What I really liked from Catalysm is they took a possession touch in order to, 1, get a different angle on their shot, but also 2, enable Sphinx more time to remove the defenders. If they shoot it immediately, that bump doesn't come out in time. And Sphinx, he got credit for the first goal, not by way of the scoreboard, but by way in our hearts, recognizing the hard work that he was putting in, the unrewarding work, and he's going to cash it in for a goal of his own here.
That's 2 goals within 25 seconds here for Luminosity. We said it before, when it rains it pours. As soon as Luminosity get that first goal, it's so hard to stop that momentum. I'm barreling at you. Big steam train they've been so far. Big blue train, poor Sus. We'll see this one run away from him. Sphinx is already up. He's waiting on that back wall just about. Can't catch it. And Scoot will get that clearance, and you're starting to see it. You can feel it. That confidence increase from this Luminosity roster. They're just kind of feeling out now what they can get away with, and we're in for a very entertaining ride as per usual.
Get away with is the perfect terminology there. They have two, they have a lead, and you can see, you sensed it, I got it at the same time. There's a suave, a swaggerness to how they're conducting themselves, moving around the pitch, what balls they're jumping for, what they're willing to take on and try to see if it will work, and they'll be rewarded with a game 1 victory. And when you have a cushion, when you've been feeling yourselves all day, why should you not? As they will rack up their 19th game win in a row here for this Open. Luminosity looking to finish our second day in a sweep.
Ooh, very early calls there made after that first game, but you said what had to be said here. Loss counts currently for Luminosity Gaming in Open number 2 is a big fat donut, of which they are looking to maintain. Duckabop done them, looking to try and steal that away from them. And listen, we got to give them credit. It was a very strong first 3 minutes where it was equal between the two teams. I would say still, Luminosity Gaming did have a majority of that offense, but some chances were flying back via nature of counterattacks, which had potential to be dangerous if Luminosity didn't clock in and start scoring goals. But, you know, 5 minutes simply is not enough to hold back Luminosity Gaming. You'd need that time halved for maybe even cut into 3s, 5s, 6s to try and hold them back. Not going to happen so easily. And now a beautiful match for a beautiful playstyle. Luminosity Gaming versus Dekubop done them here in game 2. Can they continue this insane game run they've been on ever since the beginning of the second Open? Well, Sphinx looking to give us that answer.
I've realized in the time that you were talking, I'm off by 1 series count. So that was our 16th game win, not our 19th.
Wow.
So the tally not as high as originally thought, but what matters more than anything is the loss column. Still a big fat goose egg, no matter if it's 16 or 19. Sphinx off the ceiling to himself. Oh, it would have been miraculous, but it's a good save. It may not be for long, though. So hard off the back wall. Sphinx hitting that same spot, but this time a little bit higher than the crossbar. And Regser will be the one to take it forward into Luminosity territory. So while they don't get the opener goal, I thought that was in for a second.
Oh,
part of me, part of me thought it bounced in off a ricochet in the corner there. Sphinx, good save. We'll get credit there. And Luminosity, they haven't found it, but how many times have we seen one goal go in and all of a sudden it's 2 or 3? And with that being said, they've already had their fair share of scoring opportunities only a minute into this one.
I do hear that we potentially have our rivals watching. We see you. Let this game be a warning. Sosa looking to create something out of this play. Castleism will await on that right wall. Sphinx positioned as well as third man to just try and keep this offense alive. Poor Sas looking for second touches, just about lands, but Catalysm, the only player not holding Accelerate, will take complete control. Wants to bump thereafter on Dansku. It won't land. Now you see Sphinx again just waiting in that third man position. And, you know, with these mechanical masterminds, so much of the time you want them on the front foot, picking up the ball, going for something crazy. But I prefer seeing him a lot of the times here in third. Super consistent, so you know nothing's going to spill past him. And there's potential for a ball to come out, him to have space. And, you know, once he gets that perfect first touch, it's already over.
It gives you assuredness, doesn't it? If he's on the back line, you know he can stunt any which way mechanically, offensively. You put that into defense, man, there's not going to be a single ball getting past him. Give him a head of steam, give him momentum, and all of a sudden, It's barreling towards the opposition's net, just like this one. Catalysm gets the flip reset. Sosa gets the demo. Sphinx can't get it towards the midfield, though, so we'll just offer a bump of their own. Sosa shot on, and now this one jammed forward by Donsku. Catalysm. Outlet pass to Sosa. It's a good redirect connection as they're just looking to buy time and space. Sosa trying to take that back wall 50 as Catalysm flip reset. It's off the defense and back off the post and back out. We remain scoreless.
Oh my goodness, it's just like the game before. Oh, the floodgate's finally going to open. Dansku does well to make the save. Catalysm puts this one high, sees Sosa across. He's got nothing of a tank, so Sphinx going to try and cut it, but Sosa, he's been waiting for this moment. Finally has something in the tank. Couldn't get the second touch, however. Decobop done them. Still really haven't had any sights of that blue half. Sphinx back on off the ceiling. Looks to get that second play off the back wall. Instead it's Sosa yet again. Catalysm is going to be lurking low. Dansku gonna have to be very careful with how he plays this, because if you find Sosa in the 6-yard box, it is over.
It is rattled off the nose of Sosa, and we highlighted how good he was at those redirects, at those power touches off the corner of his car. Yet again, there's got to be a little star marked on the field for where Sosa has converted so many times from the same spot. Absolutely lethal midfield, and here he goes again. Get some salt in the wound. Stepping to it is gonna be Sosa, putting the team on his back. 2-0 for Luminosity.
Well, we finally see the scoreline break, and you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. A player on Luminosity got bored and decided to get it over and done with. That's honestly what it feels like, because Sosa's just got a hat trick in like what, 15 seconds? Are you telling me he wasn't capable of this in the first 4 minutes? I'm not sure how convinced I am anymore. I think they're doing it for content. I think they know they've got this production team behind us. 3 goals quick off the bounce. I'm onto you, Sosa. I really am.
Pegasus is about to launch a full-scale investigation into the hustling nature of Sosa in these opens. It's like a switch. He just turns it on, and all of a sudden it's 3, maybe 4 waterfall double tap. It's a thing of beauty. And Sosa, 3 wasn't enough. Add a 4th to your hat trick. Go on.
And you can't disrespect Catalysm as well. Such a lovely drop-down pass. He was in that perfect position where it looked like it was just in reach for the Decubop Dum Dem defender, but still just about not enough. Sosa had full touch of the ball. 1-2 pass in between him. Catalysm and Sosa yet again. That one was on target, but Regza does well to get that save. Sphinx back across. It's Catalysm. Is it his turn? No, it is not. Regza shutting down all his dreams right now. It feels like Catalysm has gotten so many assists. He finally wants his turn for the goal, and they're just not letting it happen for him in this second game. Maybe it will in the third, where Luminosity, do I need to remind you, will be looking for the sweep. And well, producer clearly is fed up and done with this game. He's happy to go. He got the pause menu up. He had to remember to remain professional there. Look, I understand it feels like it's over. When Luminosity are in this run of form, how can you stop them? Catalysm finally got his goal. I mean, it's over. There's no more curses to break.
It's not even Catalysm's goal, though. It's an own goal by Porsas. If Porsas didn't touch it, Sosa would have had a 5th. I don't know if you would rather. You probably don't want Sosa to get 5. That's quite the stat line. And, man, I don't. It's genuinely, it's playing with their food. And it does seem like it's intentional. Like, at any point, they're like, okay, we'll play now. And all of a sudden, there's 3 goals instantly into the back of your net. I don't think it is, because the game theory behind that is abysmal. The logic does not check out at all. but maybe that's just how confident they are. All the rationality has gone out the window when they know they can beat anybody and everybody. Give me a time and a place. Luminosity, they'll show up. They'll school you on your own home turf. This team, zero mercy.
And again, a 5-0 result when it was goalless heading into the 4th minute as well of that game is also something we need to point out. Yes, this team came alive. Yes, they just started to get goals after goals after goals after goals after goals after goals. That all happened within 2 minutes. They were just able to just pull that out of the blue, and it was a deceptive first 3 minutes as well. Anyone, just looking at the scoreline sees 0-0 and must be going, oh my goodness, Luminosity are struggling a little bit. I think I pointed it out during those 3 minutes. I don't think Dekubop Dunnem saw the blue side of the pitch throughout that time. It was still just shots they constantly had to face. They were just scrambling for some of those corner boosts and those 6-yarder pads. And other than that, they were really restricted to those areas. So Luminosity, like you said, just kind of playing with their food and a half. Sphinx gets himself on the score sheet as well, early into the third. Not going to be wasting any time this time. Well, it is going to somewhat be a Dansku assist on that one, and Regza will feel unfortunate not to be able to tap that one out.
I was wondering how that got so much power behind it. It was Dansku basically using his cars, a little bit of a T, setting that one up perfectly with a bounce, booming clear. Maybe they'll get it back, though. That is a thing of beauty from Regzer, and they deserve their flowers if it's a good goal all the way off the ceiling. Perfect flip, and look at the pace that ball had going into the net. That is quite the equalizer. If there's one way to even up the scoreline, it is a beautifully mechanical, not just individual effort, but team play as well, and they'll concede it immediately in a goal that counts the same, but visibly much less attractive.
Okay, so I have 2 questions. First of all, where is the Dekubop Dunnem defense? Like, where even is the third man for start?
Right?
Second of all, why is Sphinx there? Why is, of all the 6 players on the pitch, is it Sphinx just waiting in their corner, just anticipating it? Speaking of Sphinx, looking to come off the ceiling, that was another highlight reel play to, perfectly go against what a simple goal his previous one was just then. Catalysm. Back catching this one, will look to beat the first with a demo, doesn't quite break his way through, so Dansku will clear this one out, and it's very similar to what we see before. Dekubop Dunnem trying to chase their way out of defense, and again, all 3 players just behind the ball, Sosa just doesn't find the target. And I think this is, again, this conspiracy we were talking about here, Quanzek, because Sosa does not miss those shots.
Grade A hustler. Sosa, after this, you're going to book a ticket to New York. He's going to start playing chess in the middle of Central Park and be putting some money on the line. Sosa, it's his redemption arc. He avenges himself. Really good pinch pass off the ceiling, and Luminosity make it 3-2-1 here in game number 3. We've seen really good connections from them on these passing plays. We've seen some really fabulous saves come out as well, but the job is not over. We've seen this game really open up for Luminosity past this point. This is the earliest we've gotten all these goals on the board. So we will see what's to come, what's to pass. The 1 goal from Dekubop was a thing of beauty, but they need much more of that, and not just that. They need to stop overcommitting and leaving the net wide open.
Yeah, absolutely. We mustn't forget that this is game 3 of this best of 5. Luminosity sitting 2-0 up. Should they be able to hold on this lead for an extra 2 minutes and 3/4? This is the series all up to them. Sphinx, did he get that reset? I'm not too sure. Uses his empty jump differently. And, well, just goes to show his creativity. Completely throwing everyone on the pitch off guard there for a second. It was well defended, however, by Dekubop Dunnem, despite the surprise. Sphinx 50s yet again, and he's just lurking dangerously, timing his little boost tap so well as well to chase the Dekubop Dunnem player. And eventually, Sosa just had to find himself on the score sheet yet again. Here's the opportunity. in the box. He's got possession. It's already over. We keep on saying it, but he just keeps on proving me right.
Name a better duo besides Sosa and like scoring. It's such a stupid thing to say, but Sosa getting a goal in the tally section of the scoreboard it's guaranteed. And he can do it any number of ways. He can sandbag and intentionally throw his performance and all of a sudden find three and almost find a gross redirect. It's a pass to Catalysm, who actually just leaves it for Sosa. Has to do gets a shot on with 0 boost, and it's just good enough. Goes in off the Decuboptimum defense.
I need to see this man's statistics. I need to see it after today. I've got ball chasing on. After this, I'm going to collect it all together. I'm going to send it off to Direct, and I'm just going to ask him how. Such a high shot rate, such a high conversion rate as well, alongside it to match, which is no easy feat. If you get so many shots, you expect so many misses. How? Just does not feel like the case from him. And Catalysm will get a goal straight off the kickoff. It's again that strat where they let the second man take it, and they get themselves another completely open opportunity. We're here in the upper finals. This is supposed to be the toughest matchup so far. We're playing a team that, again, I'm just going to remind everyone here in chat, was top 4 in Asia Pacific in the first Open, was the first seed from Swiss heading into this group stage format. And they're getting 6-1 in Game 3, and it's not even really been close throughout the entire series. Luminosity are just really a different level, aren't they? They are just a little bit special. They're just unbelievable.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the game that we have between Luminosity and Elevate, tail end of Open number 1, very close. Very good series. It was entertaining to watch. This Luminosity roster, different beast. A completely different animal. The confidence they're playing with, the speed, the pace of play, it's vibes. They're out there having a good time. And I feel like because of that, they're going for stuff that maybe they wouldn't otherwise. They're peaking, they're feeling themselves, they're, just throwing something at the wall and seeing what sticks. Catalysm is getting a goal off of a ball touch that wasn't even from his own hood. He nudges us forward, and Donsku with a pre-flip own goal. It is devastating sights if you're a Decuboptimum fan, but Luminosity, not for a single second tonight, have been behind the 8 ball. Have they been struggling to get in this game, or to maintain their pressure, or to accomplish what they're setting out to? Yes, they've done a little bit of trolling, but that's because they have leads that are 7-2. Anyways, rant over.
Yeah. I mean, we do see it reduced to 7-3, but I don't think there's going to be any concerns.
No.
Heading into those final 41 seconds, we've heard those goal chimes go off 10 times now in this third game, and they're looking to try and make it 11. Luminosity, another ball inside, finds Sosa, game, set, and match. I'm sure we'll see them in the upper quarterfinals. I don't know what you think, Quanzek, but I think it's... This is so disrespectful. Can I play the hype chamber yet? Coming from the producer. Well, if you do want something to do here, ladies and gentlemen, whilst we await the dying seconds of this game and allow Luminosity their victory lap, I've just dropped !team in chat where you can support every single one of these players, and I do just want to take this moment as well to mention a person on this roster who we really haven't mentioned all day, and that's of course Coach Mektos. We've been speaking about how this team looks like a different beast between Open 1 and Open 2, and yes, that's partly because of the professionalism from Catalysm, from Sosa, from Sphinx as well. But Mektos has definitely been through some work here to bring this team to another level. Sphinx just going for pogos, going for all those double flip resets, and it is finally made official. Luminosity Gaming progress to the upper bracket of the hybrid bracket without a single game loss to their name. An absolutely insane run they're on for right now, looking to get the perfect Open. Yes, That is what they're looking for at the moment. It feels like more than just a second championship at this point with the kind of performances they've been having so far. But like we said before, that's all 4 players on the roster. Catalysm, Sphinx, Sosa, and of course the legendary Coach Mektos.
Yeah, Muktos definitely needs his own flowers. I don't know what they're feeding these boys. I don't know what sort of conversations and meetings they're having, but Luminosity. There's nothing to say. Through into Open 2, where theoretically everybody should be better. They've had more time with the game in a competitive setting. They're further along into the season. They've had more time consistently with their team. 3-0 through to a stage. 3 sweeps, finishing 9-0. One of those over the top of Senzo. Right? You're with me, right?
Yeah.
Move forward.
I'm with you.
Yes, thank you. Move forward from top 32 into the top 16. Top 16 is what we just witnessed here today, GSL stage. W them. 2 wins, you move on. 2 losses, you drop. We played 3 series because we won 2. This third one was for seeding. 3 wins. 3 series wins. 3 sweeps. Which means the end result is a 9-0 game differential. 18-0 through the 2 most trialsome days when it comes to qualifiers, the range of matchups you're going to see, the different styles of play. 18-0. And they didn't even break a sweat. Any second, can you name any second you or I were nervous in the booth?
Yeah.
Dating all the way back to Sunday to now. No! It didn't happen! Luminosity is something special, and I'm going to be watching along. I know we talked about some sort of watch party that would be happening.
Yes.
I'm going to be here because I want to see them finish this Open number 2 without dropping a single game because they're playing that good right now. It is good. It can happen. It should happen if nothing changes.
I mean, it's just insane right now. And if you do want that watch party tomorrow, please let us know in chat as well. We've definitely had a few discussions about it, myself and Quanzek, that I don't want to stop watching this game, whether we do it on stream or not. You know, we will have drops on as well. If you guys would like to see that, we are willing to provide myself and perhaps even Quanzek as well. But another thing I just want to say here is 90+7 versus Elevate is happening in the other upper finals right now. We will play the loser of that series. And as it stands, 90+7 are leading 2-0 versus Elevate on their way to potentially sweep the grand finalists. The current game score is even between them. What on earth is happening? We're not going to watch party for them. However, we are just going to end and we will get you guys on a lovely raid over to this channel. However, we might have to move quick because I've just seen 90+7 may have just scored again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, check out chat yet again. We've got ! team. Let me type that correctly. ! team if you want to support the players. ! casters if you would like to support the likes of myself and Quanzek. ! producer if you want to give some love as well to the GOAT Hazza, who has been pressing all the buttons, doing all the lovely stuff as well here on stream. We are about to end, about to raid. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Luminosity Gaming official team stream. Goodbye.
for